Yeah, I think a pint of ale, don't you, Holmes?
It's a warm evening, yes. A sound choice, Watson.
2 ales, please, barman. Coming right off, sir.
I tell you, he's not to be trusted.
He's a fine doctor. Foreigner he may be, but he cured my Bessie in no time. Give him man his due, Mr. Morton.
His due? If I give him his due, I'd take a horsewhip up to the lodge this very evening. In fact, I'm almost persuaded to do just that. Dr. Juan Lana is not just a foreigner, he's a fake. A total fake. Now get out of my way.
It seems the temper's run high in this place, barman.
That's the young squire, Arthur Morton. He's hot-blooded. But a nicer fellow you couldn't meet in a day's march. Wouldn't hurt a fly, no, not him. Here your drinks, sir.
We present the stories of Sherlock Holmes. Tonight,
The Spanish Doctor.
Sherlock Holmes and I had been in Yorkshire, where Holmes had successfully dealt with the case of the Whitby widow. We'd been a little delayed in our plans to return to London, and feeling tired and a little weary, we'd agreed to stay overnight at the Mitre Inn in Bishop's Cross before catching the train from York. Bishop's Cross seemed a pleasant enough village, and the inn was old-fashioned but comfortable. We had a pleasant supper and retired to the bar for a cool drink to end that summer evening. Holmes had always maintained that if you wished to know what went on in country places, the way to find out was to listen to the talk in the local bar. We did, and found it quite interesting. But as we were to leave the following morning, we took scant notice. We retired to our rooms quite early, and I slept almost at once. It was quiet and blissfully peaceful until...
Watson, Watson, wake up. Wake up.
Holmes? What's the matter?
Wake up, Watson. I've just been called by the local police. It seems there's trouble at one of the local estates. Someone has been killed, and knowing I was staying here, they've sent for me. Come, I've no wish to tackle this alone. You must get dressed immediately. Hurry, Watson, hurry.
I was in no way pleased, but dragged myself from the comfortable feather bed and washed the sleep from my eyes. 10 minutes later, we were in a dog cart with a young farmhand urging his pony forward through the morning mists.
Sorry, I can't tell you more, Mr. Holmes. The inspector, he just said I was to get you up to the lodge right soon.
The lodge. Is that the home of Dr. Juan Lana?
Why? How can you know that? Thought you'd be a stranger in this part.
I am. I just happened to have overheard the name mentioned in the bar last night. Mr. Morton, I think it was, who seemed to dislike the good doctor.
Ah, they ain't friends. And ever since the doctor broke off his engagement to Frances Morton, Arthur's sister. Be the doctor who's dead, so I understand.
Dead in mysterious circumstances, I take it.
I don't know any details, sir. You'll have to be asking Inspector Berry about that. Ah, there be the lodge. Won't be long now.
The Spanish Lodge, as it was called locally, was a small wooden-built house on the hillside above the village. Well kept, with neat lawns and flower beds, it was obviously the home of someone of comfortable means. We made our way up the stone steps and into the hall, where a police constable stood on guard. An inner door opened, and a plainclothesman bustled towards us.
Holmes. Sherlock Holmes? Remember me? Inspector Berry. Late at K Division, East Ham. Seconded to York over a year ago.
Of course I remember you, Berry. Good to see you again.
Oh, I hear you were staying overnight at the Mitre, and I hope you don't mind this early call, but it seemed an opportunity not to be missed. Dr. Lana owns this house, and Practice has been killed. I think it must be murder.
When did this happen, and what caused his death?
Well, come and see for yourself. Oh, good morning, Dr. Watson. Sorry to have appeared to ignore you. I value your visit. You may be of great help.
Good morning, Inspector. Yes, if I can be of any assistance, then of course.
Well, this way, then.
The room we were shown into was large. It contained a sofa and easy chairs, a large desk, and bookcases round 3 walls. There was a stone fireplace, many rugs across the wooden floor. Leading from the room was a small dressing recess with wash bowls and toilet facilities. It was obvious that the doctor used his study for professional purposes. As for the good doctor himself, at the side of the table, away from the window, he was stretched upon his back. No doubt that he was dead, and that it was a violent death. One of his eyes was blackened, and there were marks of bruises about his face and neck. The thickening of his features suggested to me that the cause of death had been strangulation.
He used this room as a home surgery, it seems.
That's right. That's the outside door. It's clear that someone entered from there, killed the doctor, and escaped unseen. That the assailant was a man is certain from the footprints outside and the nature of the injury.
Yes, it's very seldom that I have the opportunity to examine a murdered man in these circumstances. I shall make a thorough investigation of the body and this room. How many people live in this house?
Oh, just an elderly manservant who attends to the house. The cook, housekeeper, the coachman, and the surgery boy sleep out.
Did the manservant hear anything?
I believe so. His name is Bloggs, but he's still in a state of deep shock. Perhaps, once you've completed your examination, you'd care to join me in questioning him?
Yes, certainly. I shall be about half an hour. Have Bloggs wait in the hall. Find out if there were any visitors last night, and patients who were expected to call. Names and addresses of everyone he saw yesterday. Meanwhile... yes, this is very interesting.
I'd often watched Holmes at work, but rarely had I seen him so thorough. He examined the body and every inch of the rugs and carpets surrounding it. Then he went into the washing recess. I watched with amazement as he picked several items out of the basin with tweezers and placed them in an envelope. He spent a long time looking at the dead man and was clearly puzzled. Then, locking the door behind him, he walked across the hall to where an elderly gentleman in a state of deep shock was seated by the hat stand.
I can't believe it, sir. It's not possible. A good master's dead.
You must try to recall all you can about last evening. Now, when did you last see your master?
Oh, about 9:30, sir. I went in there, and he was writing at his desk, and I bade him good night and went about my duties, and it was about 11 o'clock when I went to go upstairs, and a short while later, I thought I heard a cry or a call of some sort, and I went back down here, and I tapped on the door. Doctor! Hey, doctor, sir, are you all right?
Who is that? Who is that at this hour?
Oh, I'm here, sir. Bloggs.
I beg that you leave me in peace. Go back to your room this instant.
Well, I thought I heard you call out, sir. Is everything all right?
Perfectly all right. Go. Go to bed. Go, leave me.
Oh, very good, sir.
Now, let us solve this whole matter once and for all. How dare you come here and cause this trouble?
There was someone in there with him, sir, and I couldn't tell who it was. I went back to my room, but sleep came hard. And about an hour later, I can't be sure of the time, but I got up to open the window a bit wider, it being such a hot night.
Did you see anyone in the grounds? Well, come, man, come, speak up.
Well, yes, there was someone, a man, walking away from the house, from the surgery door. I couldn't be sure who it was, but it was bright moonlight.
You thought you recognized the man?
Well, I can't be sure, of course, but, well, yes, it looked to me like young Arthur Morton.
It took Holmes another hour before he felt satisfied enough to let Inspector Berry remove the body of Dr. Lana. Then, after studying the list of patients who had called the day before, he asked to be taken to Vine Cottage, the home of Arthur Morton. Frances Morton, his sister, received us.
I am sorry, Mr. Holmes, Dr. Watson. My brother isn't in at the moment. Can I help you in any way? Obviously, you've called regarding the dreadful death of Dr. Lana. We're all very, very upset.
Yes, I'm sure you are. Please do tell me everything you know about this man. Am I right in thinking that you knew him extremely well? Was there perhaps some emotional tie at one point?
Oh, you're very astute. It's no use pretending. You'll find it all out quite soon. So, yes, I will tell you all I know about Juan Lana.
Please do. Leave nothing out, however unimportant it may seem.
Well, Juan came here to Bishop's Cross some 10 years ago. He was of Spanish blood. Some even say royal blood. He'd lived for years in South America, and quite naturally the villagers resented such a grand foreigner. But he was a doctor of medicine, and a very brilliant one. He established a practice. It took years for him to win the confidence of the people, but he did. He was eventually well respected and even well loved.
When did you yourself become acquainted with him?
About 2 years ago, when I returned from Europe. We fell in love. And 6 months ago, we announced our engagement. I find this most painful, you see.
Please, take your time. Tell me all you can.
Well, Juan's attitude suddenly changed. He became morose, withdrawn. It was as though he was suddenly frightened, living in fear of the future. Then, without any reason at all, he broke off our engagement. He said he couldn't marry me, and that for my own good, he wished me to be free. Oh, I can't tell you how rejected I felt. How miserable and jilted. And now he's dead. He's murdered this man.
Well, it appears that he died as a result of wounds sustained in a fight. Tell me, Miss Morton, and you may as well be quite frank. Have you any idea who could have done this deed?
Oh, no. No, of course not.
What did your brother feel about Dr. Lana? Did they not hate each other?
Oh, it wasn't Arthur. It couldn't have been. It wasn't Arthur. Please believe me, it wasn't. Oh, tell me it wasn't Arthur.
Frances Morton had tried valiantly to control her grief, but when questioned about her brother, she broke down completely. There was little we could do but hand her over to the careful attention of her maid and leave the house. Arthur Morton had not returned, and we soon found out why. He was held for questioning by Inspector Berry at the local police station. When we entered, he was sitting sullenly at the desk preparing a statement. First thing we noticed was that his face was puffed and bruised, his left hand clumsily bandaged.
Oh, come in, Holmes. Watson. Mr. Morton is about to help our inquiries by telling us of his relationship with a dead man and of his movements last night.
Neither of which has any bearing on the murder. I admit that I disliked Lana. After what he did to my sister Frances, I considered him a complete outsider, an untrustworthy foreigner. The fact that he is dead doesn't alter my opinions.
You quarreled with the deceased on many occasions.
Only a couple. After jilting Frances, he went out of his way to avoid me. He steered clear of Vine Cottage. He knew what a reception he would get from me if he came near our home. But in spite of this, I never laid a finger on him. I certainly didn't kill him.
Those injuries that you show, the bandaged hand, those bruises, how did you come by those?
Gypsies. There have been a band of roaming gypsies with their caravans parked on my land, at the back towards the lodge. They caused trouble with fires. I went out after them last night and, well, there was a bit of a rough house. I consider I didn't come off at all badly.
I see. Well, perhaps as you're talking about last night, you'd be good enough to give me your exact movements.
Well, it was quite late. About 11 o'clock, I think. I was locking up when I saw the fires between the trees. I went over to remonstrate. Well, you know how dry everything is in this hot weather. A couple of these Romany types took exception to my orders, and I had to knock one of them down.
Did you go near the lodge at that time?
I walked back down the side lane. I didn't go near the house, although I noticed that the lights were on in the room Lana uses as a study and consulting room.
You didn't go near the house? What if I tell you that you were seen in the grounds?
Whoever says he saw me must have been mistaken.
Bloggs, the manservant, says he saw you from his bedroom window. You were walking away from the surgery door. The time was after 11 o'clock.
Bloggs, that old man. With failing sight, how could he have identified anyone in the middle of the night? And from the top window under the eaves.
You know his window. Or could you perhaps have seen his light on also?
Of course I know the layout of the house.
Mr. Morton, might I ask to see the boots you wore when you went up to the gypsy encampment last night?
Oh, I don't remember which ones I wore. They could be in the boot cupboard, I suppose. Why?
I should like to take them with me when I return to the lodge. Do you mind?
Not at all.
Good. Have you any questions to ask this young man, Holmes?
Not at the moment, Inspector. I think he should be allowed to go home and comfort his sister. She was most unwell when we left Vine Cottage.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes. Please will excuse me, gentlemen.
Holmes was in a particularly thoughtful mood as we made our way back up the hill to Spaniard's Lodge. And once again, Holmes let himself into the study and carefully inspected the room. He rang the bell, and Bloggs appeared instantly.
Can I help you, sir?
Yes, Bloggs. Now that the body of your master has been removed, has anything been touched in this room?
Oh, no, sir. I kept it locked on the inspector's instructions.
Ah, good. Then can you tell me if you can notice anything missing from its usual place?
No, sir, I don't think so. It all appears much the same. Of course, I haven't... Why, that's strange. The photograph on the desk, it's an empty frame. Someone has removed the actual photograph. Well, how curious.
Yes, curious indeed. Because nothing else has been stolen. Dr. Lana's gold watch was still on his wrist, Money in his wallet, in his smoking jacket. Valuable cufflinks and tie pins in the box in the dressing room. Well, clearly robbery was not the motive for breaking in here, but yes, a photograph is missing. What was the photograph, Bluff?
Oh, it was one of Miss Frances Morton, sir. The young lady from Vine Cottage to whom Dr. Lana was at one time engaged.
Ah, yes, I see. Yes, that makes sense. Yes, well, thank you, Bloggs. That will be all.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Look here, Holmes. What's this all about? Blessed if I can see that any of this makes sense. Now, you surely don't think you know what happened last night?
No, not yet, but I shall do very shortly. Well, I think it's important that we stay on at the Mitre Inn for a few days. Is that all right with you, Watson?
What could I say? I was in no hurry to return to London in what promised to become a scorching heat wave. A few extra days at Bishop's Cross would be pleasant enough without the interest of the Spanish doctor case. As for Holmes, well, he seemed very intrigued. But he offered Inspector Berry no advice at all. Perhaps because Berry seemed to have already made up his mind.
I've tested Morton's shoes on the ground outside the surgery door. They fit exactly into the impressions left on the flower beds. I've also been up to the gypsy encampment. There are no caravans there. Of course, they could have taken fright and left, but there's little evidence of wagon tracks. There's no sign of recent fires. Also, there's a woman in the village who says she went up to the lodge to ask Dr. Lana to visit her sick daughter. The doctor didn't come to the surgery door when she rang. When she returned home, she also saw Arthur Morton coming away from the gates. I think there's no doubt about it, Holmes. I'm issuing a warrant for his arrest. And to me, it's an open and shut case. No publicity yet, of course, but I'll soon gather all the evidence I need.
Great heavens, Holmes. I thought Inspector Berry said no publicity. Just look at this. Great banner headlines about the murder and an early arrest of the local squire.
Well, I believe that the news has spread quite far afield. I shouldn't be surprised if most of the national papers had similar reports.
Well, how on earth did they get these reports? Holmes, this isn't your doing, is it?
Me? Oh, why on earth should you think that, Watson?
Because you've been so strangely secretive. You've allowed the inspector to have his head in this case. You haven't told him what your own views are, or given him a single clue. And yet you insist on staying here. Now, come on. What's it all about, Holmes? Tell me.
Well, it's a little early yet, Watson, but regarding the giving out of clues, what would you think if you found a wash bowl filled with soap and black hairs and a body with calloused hands?
I don't understand.
No, I didn't for quite some time, but be patient, Watson. We must let the good inspector tread the wrong path in order to find the right one. A path that may bring Dr. Juan Lana back to life again.
Damn it all. I don't understand it, Holmes. I've been made to look a cracking ass, all right. Here it is, spread all over the newspapers, and I haven't got my case together yet. I should be a laughing stock. How did the news get out?
I don't think you should despair, Berry. In fact, I think you're going to make a startling success of this case.
You do? Well, I'm darned if I can see how.
Supposing we decide to all get together in this case, hold a council of war.
Well, I support that plan. As a matter of fact, I've been hoping for slightly more of a lead from you, Holmes.
Yes, I know. I've had my reasons for remaining in the background. Now, why don't we decide to spend the day quietly gathering together all the data possible? And then, say at 9 o'clock tonight, we meet at the lodge. You, me, Watson, Arthur Morton and his sister Frances, Bloggs, the manservant, and any others whom you may suggest. You must all be wondering why you've been invited to come here this evening. Well, the answer is quite simple. It's necessary to conclude the investigations into the death of a man found dead in this very room. Firstly, let me set all your minds at rest. None of you is guilty of any crime.
But one was murdered. Someone must have done it.
With due respect, Miss Morton, that is incorrect. You see, Dr. Lana was not murdered.
What? No?
Yet another guess. Please be so good as to answer the front door, Bloggs.
What do you mean Lana was not murdered? You mean it was just an accident, the result of a fight?
Death was the result of a fight, but... please do come in.
I came as soon as I could.
John, I can't believe it.
I am extremely sorry to give you a shock like this, but I had to return. I could not let another man take the blame for murder.
Now, look here. Just what is all this? You're Dr. Juan Lana, the owner of this house? Then what the devil... Who was murdered, then?
I think it was the doctor's twin brother. Was it not, Doctor? But perhaps you'd be good enough to tell us the whole story. Take your time and leave nothing out, however painful it may be for you or others in this room.
Very well, thank you. I feel I must tell the tale to you, Francis. It is a tale of confession. This gentleman, Mr. Sherlock Holmes, who was responsible for bringing me back here, is quite right. The dead man is my brother, Stefan. I was born in Madrid, a twin. My father, who came of the best blood of old Spain, took his family to South America when we were very young. He did well, but was killed in the riots at San Juan when we were children. We were forced to earn our own living. Stefan and I were identical. No one could tell us apart. But as we grew older, there was clearly a difference in our temperament. I have to say this. From reaching manhood, Stefan developed evil ways. I grew up in horror of him, often taking the blame for his notorious behavior. I found my career in jeopardy. I left the Argentine forever to seek happiness in Europe. I worked hard, got my degrees, and came here. For years, I thought I was free of Stefan. I found you, Francis, and fell in love. I am still in love.
Oh, Juan, my dear.
Then, some while ago, I received a letter. Stefan had traced me. He was coming to see me. I immediately knew that the terror of my childhood would be repeated. He would bring disgrace upon me by impersonating me, borrowing money, causing scandals. I had to protect the one I loved. I broke off our engagement. It seemed the only thing to do.
Why the devil didn't you tell us all this? Now come clean.
I am of proud Spanish blood. I am not an Englishman.
Oh, get on with what happened, Doctor.
The other night, he arrived. He'd walked from York and said he was tired and ill. I was shocked at his appearance. He was just the same, apart from sporting a thin moustache. But my medical knowledge told me that there was some serious internal malady. He'd been in a fight with some sailors from the ship he'd arrived in at Hull. His poverty contrasted with my own well-being. This angered him, and he began to abuse me, demanding drink and money. He threatened and insulted me, using the most foul language. I am a hot-tempered man, but I remained master of myself, and I never raised a hand against him. My coolness only aggravated his anger. He raved and cursed, and then he became contorted in a horrible spasm, and clutching at his own throat, fell to the carpet. His diseased heart had broken down. His own violence had killed him.
Oh, Juan, my poor Juan.
I couldn't face it. It seemed there was only one thing I could do. I changed places with him, shaved off his moustache, dressed him in my clothes, and took these, the ones I stand up in. And your photograph I took as a remembrance, Francis. If I am guilty of a crime, it is one of deception, but not of murder. You do believe that, don't you, Francis?
A subsequent investigation into the case of the Spanish doctor proved that Juan Lana had been speaking the truth. It was proved that his twin brother had traveled over in a cargo boat from South America, and that the ship's doctor testified that Stefan had a weak heart and could well have died in the circumstances described.
Two things were obvious, Watson. One, the fact that the dead man had been recently shaved. I found ample evidence of that in the wash basin. And the other was the state of the man's hands. A doctor does not do a rough seaman's job. I deduced that the dead man was not Dr. Lana. So it had to be someone who looked exactly like him. A twin brother was obvious. The rest was easy. A great deal of press publicity, a few telegrams to the nearest port of Hull, and that was that. Well, Inspector Berry can now tell the story and take the credit. I think we can proceed on our homeward journey now. Don't you, Watson?
Listen again next Sunday to The Stories of Sherlock Holmes, with Graham Armitage as Holmes and Kerry Jordan as Dr. Watson.
Oh, how very, very disappointing.
Oh, gracious, Holmes, what are you doing? What's this awful smell? What are you burning?
Watson, I didn't know you were at home. I'm afraid my experiment has been a complete failure.
What is that? I haven't seen such a revolting sight since medical school. Are you dissecting an animal?
Alas, yes. It's the shrunken head of a small monkey, no less. I had hoped it would be a genuine human head from Borneo, but alas, it's a fake. Most disappointing, Watson. Had this been the real article, then I might have gained a valuable clue regarding the Sarawak Frang organization. As it is, well, I failed before I've even started. Oh, really, it's too vexing for words.
We present the stories of Sherlock Holmes. Tonight,
The Shrunken Head.
I've recently learned through all manner of sources that the Sarawak Frang organization is moving into the East End of London again. Now, its members rule by fear and superstition. Now, you're a much travelled man. You know the Eastern mind. It's as unfathomable as their faces are inscrutable. As I say, it's a pity. I thought I'd found one of their genuine heads.
Oh, sure, your shrunken head can have little or no commercial value, Holmes. What possible use could it be put to?
Well, as I was saying, it's superstition. A Sarawak head from Borneo is believed to have magical properties. It can convey messages from the unknown.
Oh, it's absolute rubbish. A dead head can't talk.
People can be coerced into thinking it can. There are very many Chinese and Burmese folk living in London who would be in awe of such a specimen. Anyway, it's a fake. So the whole exercise can be abandoned. I shall have to look elsewhere for other clues. A couple of nights spent in Limehouse might tell me something. You wouldn't care to join me, would you, Watson?
Frankly, no. To shiver around in those dens filled with smoke disguised as an Oriental is not my way of spending a pleasant weekend. And I was hoping you might join me in the country. I've had an invitation from an old friend. Haven't seen him for years. A doctor chappie who's also travelled extensively in the Far East. His name's Clive Carter. He lives out at St. Albans. Are you sure you don't want to change your plans?
No. I shall be quite happy pursuing my inquiries. We shall just have to go our separate ways for a few days. Yes, great pity about that head.
And so I packed a small bag on the Friday night and travelled down to St. Albans, leaving Holmes to pursue his bizarre studies in Limehouse, little suspecting that our activities would complement each other quite soon. I found Clive Carter a little changed, a trifle more stout, a few more grey hairs, but still the same thoughtful, kindly man. And, of course, there was much to talk about.
I hope you'll be comfortable here, Watson.
I'm sure I shall. It's a most charming place. Yeah, I see you've plenty of souvenirs around your walls.
Oh, yes. At first I thought they might appear out of place. But the house itself has a vaguely Eastern atmosphere to it, don't you agree?
Yes. Well, that struck me when I first came in through the garden. I can almost smell incense burning.
I haven't gone as far as that. If you want the real thing, wait until you see Professor Middleton's house. It's the one across the end of the garden, the other side of the lane. He's invited us over for a drink later on. An eccentric old fellow, but has a wonderful Eastern wife.
How extraordinary. You know, I seem to be surrounded by shades of the Orient these days.
So we don't have to go unless you want.
No. I'd be delighted.
Well, perhaps you'd like to wash and change, and then we can take a stroll and call in on our way back. What do you say?
Naturally, I agreed to the plan. It was quite a hot evening, with dark clouds piling up and a rumble of thunder in the summer air. Professor Middleton's house was set well back from the lane and covered with thick creeper. It was impossible to put an age to the place, but once inside, it gave the impression of a vast pagoda divided into small rooms and passages. It was completely Oriental. A Chinese servant welcomed us in the hall.
You are welcome. Please to go through this way. Madame is with guests in the brew study. Please follow.
Thank you, Ling. I told you it'd be interesting. Wait until you see Ilona Middleton. Oh, she's a corker.
Good evening, Clive. Do come in. And this, I take it, is your friend, Dr. Watson. How do you do?
How do you do?
Please, I would like you to meet our house guests. Major Bennett, who is a Hertfordshire magistrate.
Hello.
And Matthew Grayling, whom we knew out east.
Pleased to meet you.
You know each other, do you not, Clive?
Yes, we do.
Matthew will serve drinks. My husband is still working in his study. You will have to forgive him, Dr. Watson. He is a trifle unorthodox regarding guests. We are all used to it, of course.
What will you have, Doctor? Scotch? I know what you take, Clive.
Yes, I think I know a mutual friend, Watson. Sherlock Holmes. Did you share rooms with him?
Oh, off and on for many years, yes. Clive extended an invitation for him to come down for the weekend, but he's rather busy at the moment.
Prime, I suppose. Yes, there's a lot of help in the Bushy Heath affair.
That gave me a fright. The storm has broken at last. I think I must get Ling to turn the lamps.
Don't worry, I can manage them. Everybody got drinks? Good.
Oh, fascinating room. These lamps must be very old.
Oiled from the lamps of China. And what do you think of these photographs, Doctor? Pretty gruesome, aren't they?
Yes. What are they? They look like shrunken heads. Or are they masks?
They are the real thing, I'm afraid. My husband has a great authority upon the human head of Borneo. To a Western mind, it must seem a strange hobby.
Ghoulish, I call it. I've never been able to explain the interest. Often spoken to the professor about it, but he never takes the slightest bit of notice of what I say.
He doesn't take the slightest interest of what anyone says.
There you are, dear. We were wondering where you had got to. Just talking about you, as a matter of fact. This is Dr. Watson, a friend of Clive's who was down from London for the weekend.
How do you?
How do you do?
I think I left a book down here. Do carry on. Don't mind me.
We were just talking about your interesting hobby, the photographs.
Hmm? Oh, yes. Far more to all that than meets the eye. I was reading the other day about the superstitions. Revival of interest in the practice. Surely you really can't believe these things are strange powers. What do you think, Clive?
Well, as one who's travelled quite a lot in the Far East, I prefer to keep an open mind.
I agree. We've been through some strange times out east, haven't we, Professor?
Yes. Yes, but you can't have actually seen or heard anything to substantiate black magic and all that mumbo-jumbo.
I did once. Yes, it's a fact. I remember attending an ancient rite. We were all suitably disguised, of course. We would have had our throats cut if it had been known we were Englishmen. The ceremony was held in a sort of palisade on the edge of the jungle. I hid away behind some rice sacks and water jars, and I was able to see quite clearly. There were about 20 people present, including a sort of high priest himself. They sat around a pole with his blackened skull in it, and, you know, the blasted thing talked.
Impossible. Ventriloquism.
I could see quite clearly the lower jaw moving.
Trickery, strings, wires.
Out in the open, on a pole. And then, you know, I could swear there was a glow of light from where the eyes used to be. I don't mind telling you, it was darn spooky. I got out as quick as I could. Never dabbled in it ever again. Another drink, Watson?
Not for me, thanks. Tell me, Mr. Grayling, whereabouts was this?
Oh, Borneo.
Then, could that head have been one of the heads of Sarawak?
What did you say?
Well, I understand they're viewed as very important by certain authorities. Of course, I know very little about the subject of the frag.
It is not something I think we should discuss over a friendly drink. After all the storm and all this talk, can we not change the subject?
No. I'd like to know what our doctor friend means. What do you know of the Sarawak frang, Doctor, whatever your name is?
I know nothing. I just said so. I was just making polite conversation. I'm sorry.
I don't wish to break up the party, but really it is coming down heavily outside. I think we should get back home while the going is still good. Don't you, Watson?
Yes, if you say so, Clive. Well, it's been very nice meeting you all. Hope we shall meet again soon.
You are always welcome, Doctor. You have your coat? Good. I will get Ling to show you out.
No, don't worry. We know our way. Good night, everyone. Good night.
It was clear that our visit to the Middletons had not been an unqualified success. I wasn't at all sorry to leave. I didn't care for the house or the professor, and although his wife was very beautiful, there was an air of tension about her that disturbed me. It was raining quite heavily, so Clive suggested the short way back across the lane and through his back garden gate. We were just about to close it when someone called out.
What the devil? Who's that?
There, back there, in the lane.
It's Ling, the Chinese servant. Come on. Yes, it's Ling, all right. Here, help me, Watson. Support him. Ling?
No, it's no use, Clive. This man's dead. The hospital was called, and we left it to Professor Middleton and his wife to make any other necessary arrangements. Altogether, it was a strange and dramatic evening. One I was rather keen to forget, but I couldn't. So next morning, I walked to the nearest post office and sent off a lengthy telegram to Sherlock Holmes. To my delight, later that day, he arrived. I introduced him to Clive, and he came straight to the point.
Ah, Watson, your telegram arrived just as I got home this morning. From what you say, this is a most interesting coincidence. You mentioned the Sarawak head. Is there a connection, do you think?
Oh, best of I know, Holmes. Something very strange is going on. We had a very nasty evening, didn't we, Clive?
Oh, most strange. And I'm more than glad to see you here, Holmes. You're very welcome.
Thank you. Yes, but it's clear that the scene of the action is across the lane in the Professor's house. Can you arrange for me to visit them?
I've already called earlier to see if we could help at all. It seems that the Chinese Ling must have died of a heart attack. They've already carried out a detailed examination. There's no suggestion of foul play. Mrs. Middleton would be pleased to meet you.
Yes, I think you already know one of the house guests. Major Bennett, a magistrate in these parts.
Ah, yes, Bennett. Yes, I remember him well. Any other guests?
One, Matthew Grayling, an old friend who has worked with the professor out east. It was he who started the conversation about these shrunken heads. After that, well, the evening seemed to get worse and worse. Now, who the devil can that be? I'm not expecting anyone. Excuse me. Hey, Lona. We were just talking about you. There, do come in.
Thank you.
Holmes, this is Mrs. Middleton. We're just about to go over to your house, Ilona.
Then I am glad I got here first. Oh, Mr. Holmes, I must speak to you.
Good evening, Mrs. Middleton. Please do sit down. You can speak quite freely in front of the others. Now, what has happened? Any fresh developments?
No, but I must tell someone. I have reason to believe that my husband has one of those heads. The shrunken head of the Sarawak. Oh, he denies it, but I am sure I am right. And I think it must have a connection with the death of Ling.
Very likely.
And someone or something is trying to get at the head. I am desperately frightened. Things are happening in the house. Last night I heard footsteps creaking along the stairs and a muffled sound like the ringing of a bell or a gong. Voices, the scratching sound like fingernails on the door panels. And this evening I saw a face at the window. Hands on the sill of my bedroom.
Someone climbing the creepers, perhaps?
I do not know. I just do not know.
Your other two guests, have they heard anything out of the ordinary?
Major Bennett has not. He thinks I am just an hysterical woman.
And the other guests, Mr. Matthew Grayling?
Well, he is making light of things, trying to help me overcome my fears. But I think he knows something is happening, or about to happen. I have caught him several times on the stairs, in the passages, just standing there, listening, as though he is waiting for someone to whisper to him, call him even. Oh, dear.
Here, take a swig of this. And then I suggest we all three stroll over to your house, and Mr. Holmes can try and sort things out.
Oh, thank you. Of course, these sort of manifestations don't occur at regular intervals. I do not suppose anything will happen and you will think like the Major, but I am wildly over-imaginative.
Well, drink up and let's go and find out. Watson, will you look after Mrs. Middleton?
Yes, of course.
Shall we get our coats, Clive?
Very well. This way.
Tell me, have you a revolver in the house?
Yes.
If you have, for heaven's sake, get it and make sure it's loaded. Come.
It was a matter of minutes before we were into our coats and out of the house. The lights were on at the Middletons, and the front door was not locked. But from the moment we opened the front door...
Open up! Open up in there!
What is it? What's going on? This way. I was having a drink in the library when I heard the professor shout out. The Major heard him, too. He's in his room with the door locked.
Clive, hand me that revolver. Get Mrs. Middleton up to her room. See that she stays out of things until I send up for her.
What is it? What is happening? Something has happened to him. What is it?
Come on, Ilona, come on. Your room. No arguing now.
Come on, Watson, up the stairs.
Open up! Holmes, perhaps you can help. I think the professor's in trouble. I was dressing in my room when I heard him call out. I was in pain. I can't get the blasted door open.
Stand back, right back from the door. That's it. Now. Got it. Watson.
Look there. Professor! On the carpet by the desk.
Too late, I'm afraid. He's dead, all right.
Yes, just like the Chinese butler. And look there, that shrunken head on the blot of the desk.
Also a letter. This must be written in the professor's own hand.
Let me see that. Yes,
That's the professor's handwriting.
Yes, I think I'll take charge of these documents. I must ask you, Major, to send to the nearest police station. Take the pony and cart if necessary. Mr. Grayling, will you please join Mrs. Middleton and try to calm her? Tell her that her husband's condition is serious, but we are doing the best we can in the circumstances.
Shouldn't we send to the hospital a doctor?
We already have 2 within the house. Watson and Clive Carter. Please do what I say, both of you. I need to give this room a very close examination. It's essential that I'm not disturbed.
Very well, Holmes. I know your methods. Come on, Matthew.
Very well. Poor old man, and there's that blasted head sitting there staring down at him. Don't say there isn't a moral in this somewhere, Major, even if you think it's all mumbo-jumbo.
Good. Watson, close that door. Prop a chair up against it. I mustn't be disturbed.
Right, Holmes.
Do you notice anything about the body? Anything unusual?
Apart from the fact that his slippers are half off, no. No, I don't.
Yes. Well, most people would think this fellow met his end through heart failure, but he didn't. He was poisoned, Watson.
Poisoned?
Yes. The same poison that I suspect killed the Chinese man, Ling. There, on the wall, a small bamboo cylinder. There are arrows concealed in one end. Now, you must know that some of these eastern poisons are quite lethal. The slightest scratch into the bloodstream causes almost instant death.
But Holmes, look at this room. The windows are shuttered. There are no holes in the walls or ceiling. The door was locked from within.
Don't come near while I'm doing this. A clean sheet of paper from the desk. And now the felt slipper that is half off. That's it. Ah, see, there now. There's now lying on the paper a small steel barb, moist at the tip. That was pressed through the sole of the right slipper. When changing his shoes after writing his letters, the professor inadvertently scratched his foot. Result, enormous pain, a loud cry, and sudden death.
Gracious, what a diabolically clever idea.
Yes, particularly if the murderer wished to establish an alibi elsewhere.
May I come in? Gracious, what's going on?
It's all right. Remove the chair, Watson.
Right.
Come, Clive, let us leave this room just as it is. There are plenty of places along these corridors where we can wait without being seen. Come on, follow me.
I don't understand. Matthew says the professor is alive.
He isn't. He's dead.
Just one more thing before I attempt an explanation. Did you know what Mrs. Middleton did before she married her husband?
I don't know. I have an idea she was a nurse. I'm not sure.
Yes, that's good enough. Right, step back into this room. Is this the one occupied by Major Bennett?
Yes, that's right.
Splendid. He's gone for the police and can't possibly be back for some time. Come on. Now, we cannot light the lamps or the candles, I'm afraid. You'll just have to stand in the darkness, but I don't think you'll have all that long to wait. Now, listen.
Just stay here alone and try to rest. I'm sure it's all right. I promise you I'll come back the moment I know Mr. Holmes' conclusions.
He's dead. He's dead. I know he is dead.
Easy now. Don't give in. You mustn't give in.
Don't make a sound. Just watch.
Clive? Holmes? Watson? Where are you? Clive? Holmes? What the devil is going on? Where are you? Clive? Watson?
It's all right. He's going downstairs. Wait. Quiet.
I'm afraid I don't understand this. Why didn't we stop, Matthew?
Shh, wait. Wait and listen.
Someone else in the house. The sounds Mrs. Middleton told us about.
No more speaking. Come, follow me. The door to the professor's room is now wide open. A few paces. Come. No noise. Yes, Mrs. Middleton, can I help you?
I tend to see for myself if he...
Yes, she is dead. You need not try to conceal the slipper you are holding. The poison dart is not in it. It lies there on that slip of white paper on the desk. Oh, no. Don't go near it. You are not taking the easy way out. You have a great deal of explaining to do. Better get it all sorted out before the police arrive. Don't you think, Mrs. Middleton?
Quite a few hours later, when back in Clive Carter's comfortable sitting room, Holmes was able to explain to us the details of this most extraordinary and complicated case.
It was really most fortuitous that I was already studying the Sarawak Frang organization. I knew they were back operating in England, but no one knew who their agents were. It was rumored that one of them was a woman. Well, it was Mrs. Middleton, of course. She was a member of the Frang before she married. When her husband retired, she came with him to England. He was many years older, and the marriage was not at all a happy one. I wondered at first if Matthew Grayling was actively involved, if there could have been a romantic motive behind it all, but, well, that was not the case. Professor Middleton, throughout his studies, found out that the shrunken heads imported to this country were all fakes. He also suspected his wife was still in the power of the Frang. He knew he would still have to tell the truth. It might expose him and his theories to some ridicule, but at heart he was an honorable man.
So he determined to tell all he knew?
That's right. The devoted Chinese servant Ling found out what was happening. He knew his master was in danger and ran after you in the storm to seek help. Mrs. Middleton, no stranger to the ways of poisoned darts, got to him before he could betray her.
And she then planned to kill her husband by planting a poisoned dart in his slippers.
That's right. She came over here, told us a story that there were strange influences in the house, and we got over there too late to save the old fellow. I'm always badly affected by failure, as you know, Watson.
Yes, but you've solved the crime. And far more important, you now hold the documents which give you the lead against the Sarawak Frang that you've always wanted. Isn't that so?
Yes, that is so, but well, I must leave. Move quickly. With all the information in the hands of Scotland Yard, some good may come out of all this. The shrunken heads of Sarawak may speak the truth.
Listen again next Sunday to The Stories of Sherlock Holmes, with Graham Armitage as Holmes and Kerry Jordan as Dr. Watson.
Holmes, you're in. Good.
I've been hoping you'd call, Watson. Come in, my dear fellow. Come in. Pour yourself a drink and light up a pipe. You're most welcome.
Well, it's a long time since I've seen you so happy, Holmes.
Not happy, Watson. Stimulated. Look, a note that was sent round earlier at breakfast time. Here, read it yourself.
Oh, very well. My dear Sherlock Holmes, I am back in London for a short while. I have an apartment in Regent's Building's Chester Terrace. May I please call upon you late this morning? After all these years, I'm sure we shall both find the meeting most interesting. I trust you still do remember me. Irene Adler.
We present The Stories of Sherlock Holmes.
Tonight,
The Return of Irene Adler.
The name Irene Adler caused the years to roll away. It took me back immediately to one of Sherlock Holmes' earliest and most fascinating cases, a scandal in Bohemia. Sherlock Holmes had very rarely been defeated, and only once by a woman. That woman was Irene Adler, an Englishwoman who conquered all Europe and became the mistress of kings and princes. I've seldom seen Holmes so fascinated by the prospect of meeting anyone. Just before noon, a private carriage drawn by two splendid white horses drew up outside. I let the lady in myself. I do not recall a more beautiful or gracious visitor. I was enchanted. She lifted her veil, and two startlingly blue eyes mocked me.
The faithful Dr. Watson. At last, after all these years.
Oh, my honor. Please, come this way.
I trust Mr. Holmes is expecting me.
With great anticipation. Now, allow me. Your visitor, Holmes. Should I leave you?
Certainly not. You must stay. I may need assistance now that Mr. Sherlock Holmes and I have met on his home ground. Mr. Holmes.
Miss Adler. Or should I not say Mrs. Norton?
Ah, you do remember that I married. You were an unwilling witness at the ceremony, were you not? No, Miss Adler will do very nicely, thank you. My marriage was not the success I hoped.
Ah. Then may I inquire what brings you back to London?
That simple fact. I am now divorced and anxious for a change. I resolutely refuse to become old before my time. I have rented the most modern apartment in the city. It has a telephone, electric light, and even a gas icebox. I shall not remain very long. Just a few weeks. Looking up my old friends.
And foes?
Yes, and foes. It is a very dull woman who reaches my age without making quite a few enemies. But I am not worried by the future, Mr. Holmes. I have always been able to take care of myself.
I heartily agree with that.
And you? Your work is still successful?
I like to think so. Scotland Yard value me a little more highly than they did in your day.
I am glad. That Inspector Lestrade was such a dullard. I most certainly hope I don't meet him while I'm here.
I hope you don't either.
Oh, you still think of me as a dangerous woman, don't you? That is good. I like to leave a lasting impression. But really, I must go. I have so much to do during this short stay. Oh, I almost forgot. I'm having a small soiree at my apartment tomorrow evening. After 8? I shall be tremendously flattered if you and the good doctor could attend. Is that possible?
I think so. Watson?
Well, I should be charmed.
Good. Then we shall not say goodbye. Just au revoir. Until tomorrow, then, Mr. Holmes.
Having created exactly the impression she desired, Irene Adler swept from the room. I showed her to her carriage. She bowed graciously while a small group of onlookers gawped by the railings. On returning to our sitting room, I found Holmes in a pensive mood.
I wonder, Watson. I wonder.
Oh, what, Holmes? I must say I've never seen anyone quite so captivating.
Indeed? Oh, yes, her technique has not lessened with the years, but why, Watson? That's what I ask myself. Why?
Why what?
Why did you call upon me, and why is she in London? It's important that I know.
Holmes, I really don't follow you. Why should it not be a quite innocent visit? If she now lives a totally different life...
She doesn't. A leopard cannot change its spots, Watson. Irene Adler has been living in America. Her clothes may seem Parisian, but they are not. Her gloves bore the name tag of a New York department store. She's lived over there long enough to call a refrigerator an icebox. No. The lady's here for a purpose. It can only be a shameful one. I must anticipate her moves. Something to do with American crime.
Oh, come, Holmes. Surely you're reading a great deal more into this than exists.
I know better than to accept Irene Adler at her face value. Yes, I must warn Lestrade at the Yard and check on all rumors in high society. A careful watch must be kept upon this lady's movements.
And the party she's holding tomorrow evening after 8? Shall we attend?
Oh, by all means, Watson. Oh, yes. We most assuredly will attend.
Mr. Holmes. Dr. Watson, how good of you to call. Do come through and meet everyone. Allow me to introduce you. Colonel Harris.
I have to admit, your lady friend sure is a nerve tank. How come you allowed her to invite a detective here?
Quiet, Ava. Keep your mouth shut. And Irene is not my lady friend. We've only been introduced. Get it?
And these two are American friends to whom I've just been introduced. They're from New York. Friends of my ex-husband, Hank Madison and Jervis Ames. Mr. Sherlock Holmes and Dr. John Watson.
Pleasure to meet you.
How do you do, Miss Madison? Is this your first visit here from America?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, it is. It feels kind of strange, but delightful. Everything is so old, you know what I mean?
I fancy so, yes. Are you from New York? In the jewelry business?
No. I'm a banker. Nothing.
Oh, what a pity. I was so wishing to talk to an American about the true value of the Baltimore diamond.
Did you say the Baltimore diamond?
That's right. I believe that it is in London and that it may be put up for sale. That is, if a private buyer cannot be found very soon. The trouble is that no one seems to know its true value.
Did I hear you mention the value of the Baltimore diamond? Oh, how exciting. The fact is that they do say a crowned head of Scandinavia has already purchased it at a price beyond belief. Certainly no one I know can afford it. Oh, but come, Mr. Holmes. I will not have you monopolized by anyone. I must show you the rest of the apartment. But first, a drink? I know you will not like fancy drinks. But something cool, perhaps.
Most pleasant.
And here, help yourself. cupboard that contains the decanters has a small icebox. Open it and... there are round trays which are filled with ice. Isn't that so very convenient? Small enough to pop straight into a glass. I love this apartment. And here, my elegant golden telephone. By turning the handle several times after lifting the receiver, you can ask the operator for any number in Greater London. Isn't that so exciting? Do you think you will ever catch a criminal by making a telephone call, Mr. Holmes? Oh, is that drink to your satisfaction? Because if so, do come and meet me.
We didn't stay at the soiree very long. It was the sort of gathering that Sherlock Holmes despised. A number of false people wearing set smiles, engaging in small conversation with earnest intensity. I wondered if it had been at all worthwhile. In the hansom going home, Holmes answered my unspoken thoughts.
I think it was worth going to, Watson. It's extremely tiresome, of course, but it served its purpose.
Oh, you really feel that, Holmes? Well, I confess I've never felt more like a fish out of water.
I gleaned a few interesting facts. I was right, Watson. There is mischief afoot. It concerns that man, Hank Madison, and the Baltimore Diamond. Yes, I don't know what form the trouble will take. It's not my job to police the whole of London, but Scotland Yard must be alerted. A crime is about to be committed. Lestrade of the Yard has a job of work to do.
For the next few days, Holmes was engaged in serious discussions with Scotland Yard. He used to return home in the evenings irritable and frustrated. Lestrade refused to take his warnings seriously. In the end, Holmes gave up. He'd done his best. Matters came to a head 3 days later, when Lestrade burst into our sitting room.
Holmes, it's happened. Curse it, I was a blind fool. You were right, damn it. You were right all the time.
Come in, Lestrade. Now, do calm down. Tell me what brings you here in such a sorry state.
It's the Baltimore Diamond. It's been stolen.
Now, calm down, Lestrade. I can understand your frustrations, but as the deed has been done, we must now apply our minds to a solution. Wearing a pathway into my carpet will not solve anything.
No, sorry, Holmes. It's just so impossible.
If the crime involves Irene Adler, then nothing is impossible.
Could it have been her?
Well, of course it is. I've warned you repeatedly that this would happen. Now, as you seem incapable of coherent action or even logical thinking, I suggest we take a four-wheeler and go straight to Regent's Building, Chester Terrace. You will not have a warrant to search the apartment, but that can be argued about later. While we're on the way there, you can explain the circumstances in which the crime was committed. Watson, I take it that you do not wish to be left out of this?
Well, certainly not. You get your coat, Holmes, and I'll get the four-wheeler. Within minutes, we were out of Baker Street and into a cab, topping our way down Park Road. Lestrade, who had been impressed by Holmes' clean-cut decision, pulled himself together somewhat and answered the questions that were thrown at him.
Knowing Irene Adler, the robbery would not be an armed one. It would be a case of deception with a deal of audacity. Not so?
Quite correct, Holmes. As you may know, the Baltimore Diamond was sent to this country to gain a European sale. It's been held by Samuel Twiggs of Bond Street. Though Twiggs handles the select transactions himself. He has private rooms above the shop with a strong room. A few days ago, Madame Louise Dubois suggested and requested an interview and asked to see the Baltimore Diamond. She gave full credentials, which were extremely impressive. Twiggs unlocked the safe and showed her the jewel.
It is exquisite. Quite exquisite. I am determined to possess it.
Oh, I'm sure Madame will wear it with a great distinction.
I think as a pendant, a single setting to lie low on the neck. Monsieur, I shall, of course, not carry out this transaction by myself. I have the patronage of the young Earl of Sandown. It is a delicate matter, you understand? Our relationship?
Oh, yes, I think so.
Complete secrecy must be observed. The Earl family. May we consider a rendezvous? The Earl, myself, yourself, and the diamond.
Oh, I have no doubt it could be arranged.
It would have to be at a discreet venue. The Langham Hotel, perhaps. The small private business room? That is easily planned.
Oh, at your convenience, madame.
I think Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock. Can you manage that?
Oh, I shall make a point of it, of course.
Very good. That is decided. Oh, there is one small matter.
Mm-hmm.
The Earl is very young, very well known, and naturally this purchase must be conducted discreetly. He will not use his own name when you meet. He always calls himself Dr. Westbury when he travels incognito.
Oh, very wise, very wise. Yes, I often do that myself. Twiggs of Bond Street is also too well known. I am known as Mr. J. Marsh, a commercial traveller when undertaking delicate missions such as this.
Oh, that is most satisfactory. May I then arrange for a meeting at the Langham Hotel on Friday at 3 between Dr. Westbury, Mr. J. Marsh, and myself, not forgetting the small article that lies in the case before us. Thank you so much, Mr. Twiggs. I do hope the transaction is successful.
Yes, Irene Adler, all right. Blonde wig, French accent. She could fool anyone. After all, she was a famous theatrical star. Well, go on, Miss Spade. What happened next? Clearly, there was no Earl of Sandon.
No, but there was and is a Dr. Westbury. And according to him, a French lady, Madame Louise Marsh, visited him in his consulting rooms in Harley Street that same day. She was very distressed. It was regarding her husband.
It really is so embarrassing, Doctor. You see, my husband, he is suffering from the brain fever. I do not know what I can do. He acts quite normally until these attacks, and then afterwards he...
Please do not distress yourself, Madame Marsh. Tell me frankly all about your husband.
Well, I am a Frenchwoman. My husband, he is English and far older than I am. You will appreciate that there are difficulties in such a marriage. I am able to deal with most of them, but lately James has been suffering from delusions. He keeps wishing to give me gifts, expensive ones that he cannot afford. He imagines he is a wealthy jeweler. He really believes he is such a man. Oh, if you could only speak with him, see his state of mind for yourself.
Why did you not bring him along here today?
Oh, but that is impossible. He would never consent. But perhaps if we met privately, a friendly meeting to humor him. Let him talk of selling jewelry. He is harmless enough. But you could observe his behavior. Perhaps prescribe something to calm him when he talks wildly. I really love him very much, but I cannot continue like this. Please, won't you help me?
Of course I will, Madame. Now, when can I see him?
Well, we are at the Langham Hotel for a few days. If you could call there on Friday afternoon, say at 3 o'clock, I could introduce you as a friend. We might have tea served in one of the private rooms. You could talk together. I could leave you alone to speak privately. Is that satisfactory, Doctor? Could you manage Friday at 3 o'clock?
Oh, yes, it's Irene Adler, all right. The meeting was held yesterday afternoon, not so? Both the jeweler and the doctor, dazzled by Madame Dubois' charm, didn't doubt her sincerity. They all three met as planned with the Baltimore diamond.
That is so. Both Twiggs and Westbury, aware that they were dealing with a most delicate problem, were most cautious at their meeting.
I can well imagine it. Irene Adler at her theatrical best, playing her cards with consummate skill.
So you two have met at last. Tea is served. And now we must talk business. The jewels.
I have it here for your inspection, Doctor.
Oh, may I... Oh, yes. Yes, is it not magnificent? Oh, of course I shall be so proud to accept it. But, the price. Can we afford it?
Oh, you must have it. I insist. No one else could do it justice. Don't you agree, Doctor?
I'm sure you're right, Mr. Marsh. But we need to talk about a great number of things. A consultation.
Oh, I am discretion itself, I assure you. I've had so much experience in these things that I shall require the usual credentials, of course.
Place yourself entirely in my hands.
If you two gentlemen are about to talk intimate business, then with permission I shall wait in the adjoining room. May I take my tea? Thank you. Please do not hurry. I have plenty of time. Go into things most thoroughly, won't you? Call me when you have finished.
And so she leaves them together, taking her tea and the Baltimore diamond with her. The jeweler and the doctor are left to discuss their business for completely cross purposes, neither daring to offend the other with straight talk for some time. And it must have been a good 10 minutes before they'd realized the truth, that they'd been tricked into thinking the other person was a different person. By that time, the French madame had vanished with the diamond. Is that it, Lestrade?
That is it, exactly.
And what steps have you taken?
An immediate alert. All the usual procedures, descriptions, etc.
Totally ineffective. It's even a waste of time questioning Irene Adler. You'll find that with the help of her 2 new American friends, she'll have a perfect alibi.
Then what are we to do, Holmes? It's all very well arriving at her apartment in a few minutes' time without a search warrant, but if she is guilty of this cunning robbery, she could have disposed of the diamonds by now.
Oh, no, that she will not do. You do not know the lady as I do. She's delighting in this deception. That's the reason why she came to me in the first place. Yes, she got the better of me once years ago, and now she thinks she can do it again. Now, but look, we're turning into Chester Terrace. Things will become quite interesting very soon, I think.
Regent's Buildings, Chester Terrace, was almost deserted, and the butler at Irene Adler's apartment informed us that his mistress was out riding in the park with the American, Hank Madison. Lestrade introduced himself, and the butler recognized Holmes and myself from the evening of the party, and we were shown in. A pile of luggage stood in the passage. Madame Adler was due to leave for the continent. Lestrade was all for a thorough search of the cases and the rest of the apartment, but Holmes restrained him and insisted that we sat quietly and waited. To my surprise, although the hour was early, Holmes mixed himself a strong drink with ice before joining us. We waited for some time before...
Hi, Mr. Holmes. Dr. Watson, and can it be, after all these years, Inspector Lestrade of Scotland Yard? Well, what a surprise. You know my friends, Mr. Hank Madison and Mr. Jervis Amos.
Glad to meet you. Hello there, Holmes. What's the day to you?
And pray, why am I so honored by 3 guests? I hope the matter isn't all that serious, for the 3 of us are about to leave on my tour of Europe.
I know that, madame, but I must first insist that a thorough search be made of this apartment and all your personal belongings. The Baltimore diamond has been stolen, and we believe you are responsible.
I beg your pardon. You can't be serious. Oh, but of course you may search as much as you please. Tell me, when was this diamond stolen?
Yesterday afternoon at 3 o'clock from the Langham Hotel.
Indeed. Oh, that must have been while we were riding in the park.
I guess so. I called for Madame Adler at 2:45. We were out in the park until after 4. Many people saw us.
I was looking at my best, I think, in a green and yellow gown with white accessories. There were photographers out there. I refused to pose, but they must have photographed us in the carriage. So you see...
I told you that Madame would have an alibi. And I really do think it will be a waste of time to conduct a search. It's both inconvenient and undignified. Do please continue with your investigations in the manner you think fit, Lestrade, but allow Watson and I to retire. I shall say goodbye now. Goodbye, Irene Adler. I think it most unlikely that we shall ever meet again. Are you ready, Watson?
I couldn't have been more amazed. In all my years with Sherlock Holmes, I'd never known him throw in the towel over a case. But he remained unperturbed. And instead of ordering a cab to take us home, he suggested a walk through Regent's Park. There, sitting by the lake watching the ducks, he said...
Like to smoke a pipe, Watson?
Oh, I feel in no mood for smoking, Holmes. Just what are you thinking about, allowing that woman to get the better of you like that?
She hasn't got the better of me, Watson. Here, take my tobacco pouch.
Well, I don't really wish to. Holmes. Oh, what's all this about? This pouch is soaking wet, and the tobacco is drenched. Well, what's this mean? You can't smoke this soggy stuff.
Look deeper into the pouch, Watson.
Gracious me, it's the diamond. Holmes, I don't understand.
It's simple. Irene Adler obtained the diamond by impersonating Madame Dubois. She had an alibi because her American friend Jervis Amos, who's a young man of slight build, dressed in her clothes and was taken for a ride in a carriage all yesterday afternoon by Hank Madison. When she got back to her apartment, she dropped the diamond into a tray of her fancy ice box, where it lay frozen and concealed. I found it there when I helped myself to a drink.
Oh, Holmes, it's amazing.
Yeah, she worked it out wonderfully well, didn't she? But then, so did I. For I was able to refill the ice tray with water and drop a valueless glass imitation in place of the diamond. Yes, I do hope this trade takes a long time to allow the ice to set. It's rather important to me that Irene Adler doesn't discover how she's been tricked until she reaches Amsterdam. Most satisfactory teaching her a lesson after all these years. Don't you agree, Watson?
Listen again next Sunday to The Stories of Sherlock Holmes with Graham Armitage as Holmes and Kerry Jordan as Dr. Watson.
Cricket, I'm glad to say, still holds the attention of many superior minds, but it's the sport of athletics proper which holds the highest interest from April to September.
Well, there's nothing wrong in that, is there? I was a keen runner and long jumper in my youth, and not bad at throwing the hammer either.
Oh, a sport for its own sake, of course, is very fine, but the pastime is now attracting the attention of the bookmakers. Bets on matches between Oxford and Cambridge are the most unlikely events. Before we know where we are, those American universities which try so unsuccessfully to emulate ours, now be opening their doors to students, simply because they can play games like baseball better than others, really. It's hardly keeping up standards.
We present the stories of Sherlock Holmes. Tonight,
a problem at Oxford.
It was but 2 days after Holmes had expressed his doubts about British sporting habits with reference to universities that I found Sherlock Holmes at the task of answering letters. It was an occupation that he thoroughly disliked. He rarely engaged in small talk and found casual correspondence a waste of time. If the matter required his attention, then it was usually answered by a short telegram. On this occasion, he looked up with a slight smile of welcome and said,
"This may interest you, Watson. I've had a letter from the Dean of St. Mark's College, Oxford. There's been some trouble about a cheque, which he's asked me to investigate privately. It appears that some person, posing as an undergraduate and wearing the St. Mark's colours, cashed a cheque at an Oxford bank. Later, Lord Farewell, from whose private account the cheque was drawn, denied all knowledge of the transaction and claims the signature is a forgery. Not unnaturally, the Dean would prefer to have the problem solved without publicity.
How much was the amount?
£100.
Quite a tidy sum, even for Lord Farewell. Actually, I know the young fellow slightly. His father is the Earl of Hartland, and we soldiered together out in India. I was able to treat his wounds after a skirmish near Rawalpindi.
Then you must be interested. I've wired the Dean saying that I'll accept his invitation to travel down to Oxford tomorrow morning. Are you able to accompany me?
I can manage a day off. Yes, I think I'd like that, Holmes. Thank you. We took the 10 o'clock train from Paddington and were at St. Mark's College in good time for lunch. The Dean entertained us with a most pleasant meal, refusing to discuss the reason for our visit until we had eaten and were comfortably seated in his study.
Now to business. I have here on my desk the returned cheque about which Farewell denies all knowledge. He states that he did not make it out and that the signature is a forgery.
May I see? Thank you. The amount and date are typewritten. Only the signature is in ink.
Quite. I understand that typewriters are as easily identified as handwriting, and this newfangled business of taking people's fingerprints.
Oh, yes. To the observant, typewriter key impressions are very easily identified. There are typewriters available in the college, of course.
In the staff room, yes. The college business employs them. I can't say if there are private ones used by undergraduates. I imagine there must be. I read a number of typewritten manuscripts.
Then we've got something to go on.
Yeah?
You sent me, sir?
Yes. Farewell. Please come in. Meet Mr. Sherlock Holmes and Dr. John Watson from London.
How do you do, Mr. Holmes? Your name is, of course, well known to me. And, of course, Dr. Watson. How do you do, sir?
Hello there, Christopher. How do you do? Haven't seen you for about 3 years when you won the mile at Harrow. Your father was very proud of you.
I hope he will have reason to be more proud in the future. I suppose the Dean has told of my present trouble.
We have called to see if we can help.
The affair is quite trivial in a way. I mean, I've been tricked out of £100, but The paper will recompense me, but, well, that's not the point. The point is that someone in this house has stooped to this method of stealing. Naturally, I felt I had to report it.
Of course. I was just studying the check when you came in. Tell me, how could anyone have got hold of the form?
I run several accounts. I admit I've never been too careful about locking up my checkbooks. I often find them in the inner pockets of my suit, or blazers, for instance. The whole form and the counterfoil were ripped out of a checkbook I found in the drawer of my desk.
I see. And you stay here in the college?
No. I'm at Falcon Lodge, across the playing fields. It's private. I have the first floor. I don't think there was any form of burglary or anything like that. I mean, anyone could have got at my checkbook, taken it from my coat or briefcase when I was at lecture or out on the sports fields.
I see. So any of your colleagues could have seized the opportunity to tear out a check form and counterfoil from the book you were carrying. You would naturally continue to write checks without being aware that one was missing. When did you become fully aware of the fraud, Lord Fairwell?
When I saw my bank statement. I studied the returned check. I knew it had been forged, and so I came straight to the Dean.
Well, looking at the check, it's clear that it is a forgery. The person who did this is an old hand at the game.
How do you deduce that, Holmes?
The easiest way to copy is to perfect the handwriting upside down first. I think this was so in this case. I imagine that your signature is readily available, Lord Fairwell. I mean, there are specimens to be seen in public.
Oh, yes, of course. I sign all the sports items on the notice board. The teams that are selected, for instance. Everyone knows my signature.
So to obtain a copy and imitate it would be easy. I think that the typewriter that was used was also readily available. Is that not so?
There is one in the common room attached to the library. Everyone uses it.
Well, then it should be easy to compare the type. Good. Well, it's still early afternoon. I think a walk after that excellent luncheon would be a splendid idea. I'll be able to find the bank in question all right. Perhaps we can meet later, Dean.
I shall be here at your service, Holmes, and thank you for going to all this trouble.
Perhaps you'd care to take tea with me at Falcon Lodge when you return. Shall we say 4 o'clock?
Now, that seems a very sound idea. Thank you, Dean. Thank you, Lord Fairwell. We shall see you around about 4 o'clock. Come, Watson.
It was but a 15-minute walk to the main road and the bank where Lord Christopher Fairwell had his accounts. The bank manager seemed to be expecting us. He listened intently to what Holmes had to say, and then called in a young man who was on duty at the banking counter when the fraudulent check was cashed. Together, they listened to Holmes.
I'm undertaking a private investigation into the cashing of this forged check. So far, we've only established that it was typed on a communal typewriter at St. Mark's College. It could have been signed by anyone. Now, you were on duty when the undergraduate presented the check?
You can speak quite freely in front of Mr. Holmes, Hughes. This is all in confidence.
Oh, yes, I was. I must tell you that I've not been working here for very long. The Oxford undergraduates who use this bank are not known to me.
But you would be able to give a description of this one.
Oh,
you
yes.
remember him?
Oh, yes. It was a very rainy afternoon, and we were near to closing hours, and he came in wearing a wet mackintosh and the St. Mark's College cap, and he had a scarf of the same colours wrapped around his neck.
In other words, quite muffled up. You could only see his hands and face.
That's right. All I can really remember is that, well, he wore spectacles, the thin steel-rimmed kind, and he peered a bit through them.
Did he speak to you?
Oh, just a few words. I can't recall exactly what they were. It was something like, a rough afternoon, please cash this for my friend.
Did he have any sort of accent?
No. He seemed to be choosing his words very carefully and speaking quite precisely in a rather affected English.
Quite common in undergraduates at Oxford. Anxious to be correct in every way.
Anything else you observed?
Only that when I gave him the £100 in notes, he placed them in an envelope that he had with him, and he wrote the amount on the outside.
He did? It's a very strange thing to do. I wonder why.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, and there is one more thing I noticed. He wrote with his left hand.
Ah, I see. Well, thank you very much, Hughes. Thank you, sir. You've been most kind in granting this interview.
I am sorry we could not have been of more help.
You have been exceedingly helpful. Come, Watson. We shall be late for tea at Falcon Lodge. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Do help yourself to more cucumber sandwiches whenever you wish, Mr. Holmes. I always take tea down here on the ground floor terrace.
Thank you. I rarely eat at this time of the afternoon.
Dare I inquire if you're any farther forward in your investigations?
I think a little, yes. Tell me, have you anyone in this college who is an American, short-sighted, and left-handed?
Goodness gracious me, what a question. It's a three-part one, too. Well, the answer is yes. There is a man here who is an American, Guy Lewis. He's left-handed, and
He is rather short-sighted. He wears those American steel-rimmed spectacles. You know the kind.
Is he a friend of yours?
No, not really. I always feel so ill at ease with foreigners. But he is an extremely fine sportsman. Excellent oarsman, good runner. Could well get his blue this term. Why?
Because evidence is building up against him. Is he in need of money, do you know?
Dashed if I know. I shouldn't think so. His family headed rich in the Yukon or some outlandish place. Are you suggesting that he is the man who forged my signature?
No, I'm simply trying to establish facts. And the facts are that he fits the description of the person who...
Gracious, what was that?
It sounds as though it came from the floor above.
But my study is directly above this... It's locked. I've taken the precaution of locking everything up since this business of the check. I wondered, do you think that...
I think we should go up to your rooms immediately, Lord Farewell. Perhaps someone is still intent upon tricking you out of even more money. Shall we go?
The rooms occupied by Lord Farewell were small and self-contained. They consisted of bathroom and shower, a small bedroom, and a large sitting room, which was also used as a study. They were directly above the dining room, kitchen, and terrace room. It was a few moments before we could climb the stairs and unlock the main door. Then there was a small passage into the sitting room. That door was also locked. Christopher Farewell had his keys, and soon we were standing in the elegantly furnished apartment. It was immediately clear that there had been an intruder. A chair near the window had been overturned. The window itself was open, with lace curtains flapping in the breeze.
Great heavens! Someone's just been in here. The drawer of my desk is open.
Yes, well, whoever it was got away through that window.
My bureau. The lock's been forced. Part of my stamp collection. It's missing. The latest stamps. I was about to paste them into the album. They're very valuable stamps. They've gone. You were right, Mr. Holmes. Someone is intent on getting money from me. Now, what on earth are we to do?
Remain calm. Now, you locked up the whole of this self-contained apartment. Is there any other entrance?
Well, no, just the main door to the stairs and ground floor.
Well, it seems clear how the thief got away, but how did he get in here?
Blessed if I know. He couldn't have been in here before I locked up. I went into all my rooms, washed my hands, changed my blazer, collected my keys. It's impossible.
Well, then I think I'd better examine the window. Yes, I see that there's a flat roof right outside here. A stretch of about 7 feet before the drop into the grounds. One can actually get out onto the lead surface, yes.
Do be careful, Mr. Holmes.
Yes. Yes, that's it. Yes, this must be the roof over the terrace rooms. 2 bays. I suppose it is possible to jump down. It's quite a drop, all of 10 to 12 feet. What have we here? There are numerous indentations in the lead. But this looks recently made. It's here by the guttering. Most curious. It couldn't have been made by a ladder.
A rope, perhaps?
No. It's too broad for that. That's quite a mystery. Now, shall we go down and examine the earth beneath?
Yes, please.
Then you better make a thorough search of all your belongings and report the whole incident to the Dean. Come, there's nothing more to be gained out here.
Holmes and I made our way down into the grounds, while Christopher Farewell made a thorough check of all his possessions. We knew the alarm would soon be raised and the whole of the college agog with the news. It was one of those spectacular incidents that could not be hushed up. The burglary had actually happened above us while we were quietly drinking tea and eating cucumber sandwiches. I thought it all had an air of unreality about it. But Holmes was not at all put out. He went over the gardens under the window with his usual thoroughness.
Yes, here in the grass. This is freshly marked. See, Watson?
Yes, it's a sort of triangular indentation.
I think I can actually remove this section of turf. Yes, it could be valuable. Yes, I wonder if anyone here at the college comes from the Fen country.
Well, why do you ask that, Holmes?
That's just a thought, following the logical conclusions of the evidence so far.
Yes, Christopher, some of his friends.
Holmes? Mr. Holmes, I'd like you to meet a few of the men from my college. This is Jolifant. How do you do? Stocking business. My friend Eric Davidson. How do you do?
I can't believe all that Chris has been telling us.
And this is our American scholar, Guy Lewis.
I'm pleased to meet you, Mr. Holmes. I guess this is something no one ever thought would happen. A thief at St. Mark's. I don't get it.
I'm pleased to meet you all. I know that this is likely to cause a lot of talk and a great deal of scandal should it become public knowledge. I think you should remember the college and try to hush it all up. The news may be given out by the dean as he thinks fit. But you know what will happen if the press gets hold of this.
Yes, indeed. Could go a long way to smear the reputation of Oxford. And with the big sports encounter with Cambridge coming up, well, it won't do us any good.
I agree. I am the one who's been chosen as a victim, but I must insist that we keep this within the house. I know you're all good friends and will support me in this request.
We will. It can't be overlooked, Chris. The man who did this must be found. If it isn't stopped, who knows where it will all end.
Oh, I agree. I think there should be a general search made of everyone's rooms. It needn't be rowdy, just quietly and methodical. What do you say, Guy?
Sure. I go along with that. Sure. Why not?
Right. Let's put it all to the dean as quietly as we can. We must be guided by him and Mr. Holmes. Now, what do you say,
Holmes watched the retreating backs of the young men with a thin-lipped smile. I could tell that he'd already formed a theory, but was not prepared to discuss it. It wasn't until over an hour later, when we were gathered in the dean's study, that Christopher Farewell entered hurriedly.
I'm sorry, sir. I wondered if you were available, and Mr. Holmes. Good, you are still here, sir. My stamps have been found.
Ah, they have. And may I ask where?
They were found at the back of a drawer in Guy Lewis's study, sir.
I see. This is a very serious matter, Farewell. What does the young man say?
He protests his innocence, says he knows nothing about the stamps. He maintains that he's not responsible either for the forged check or the theft of the stamps.
Mm-hmm. He must be given a fair hearing, of course, but it does seem that he has a great deal of explaining to do. Mr. Holmes, you are the expert on these matters. What do you recommend?
Well, with your permission, I should like a select group of your friends, including Mr. Guy Lewis, to gather here in the dean's study as soon as possible. Yes, I think I can rely upon you, Lord Farewell, to choose the right men. Those I've just met, for instance. Jolliphant, Eric Davidson. A few more who are chosen athletes. They must all be sworn to secrecy for the sake of the college. Can you arrange that for me straight away?
Of course, it was arranged. And within 20 minutes, the half a dozen young men were seated quietly in front of the dean. Holmes immediately took the floor.
This is the first time I've had the opportunity to address a group such as yourselves in a place of learning such as this. I'm very pleased to do so. I'm just disappointed that the circumstances are so unpleasant. As a private investigator, I've always maintained that crime is never what it appears on the surface. Not big crimes or international intrigues, or small crimes such as fraud and theft. I don't think the trouble here lies with the usual motives of love or money. As you all know, Lord Farewell has been cheated out of £100 and has had part of a stamp collection stolen. He's the first to admit that these are petty crimes, but they are not what they appear on the surface. Oh, no. If I can reveal the name of the person responsible for all this trouble, would you drop any charges against him, Lord Farewell?
If it were for the sake of the college, then yes, of course I would.
And what does the sake of the college mean? It means maintaining the good reputation that St. Mark's has when entering for the next games. Is that not so? I'm afraid that is where the danger lies. Athletics is a branch of sports that has hitherto been almost entirely free from professionalism and the evils of betting. But now, competition has risen to such a state that it has become work and not play. Now, this is the basic reason for the petty crimes we are investigating.
A most interesting thesis, Holmes, but I'm blessed if I can see how.
Well, let me show you. But first, to get back to the crimes themselves.
Excuse me, sir. Wouldn't it be better if we just asked the man himself to admit his guilt?
Quite. Come on, Lewis. You know you've been caught out.
I have not. And I don't admit to anything. I'm not guilty.
Just one moment, just one moment.
Overwhelming.
Now, let me start with you, Mr. Lewis. When I carried out an investigation at the local bank regarding the cashing of the forged checks, the cashier described the man to whom he gave the money as muffled up in cap and mackintosh.
Then it could have been anyone.
At the time this took place, you were nowhere to be found?
I was out walking. It was a dreary day, but I wanted exercise. I was quite alone.
That is no alibi. The man was wearing spectacles and was left-handed. He spoke very precise English, which could be an effort to conceal an American accent.
Now, look here, this just isn't fair.
The check, which was typed out, had the dates of the day and the month transposed. In England, we put the day first, then the month and the year.
Of course, correct.
In America, it's the month, the day, and the year. All this adds up. As the stamps were found in your study, the case against you looks complete. But, as I have said, most crimes are not what they appear. Supposing there was someone in the college who wanted you to be disgraced, dismissed from the college and the sports, then wouldn't it be a simple matter to imitate you? A pair of steel-rimmed glasses, easily obtainable. The subtle typing of an American way of dating a check. The affected voice. Even the unnecessary writing of the amount taken on an envelope so that the cashier should note that the left hand was used.
Look here, Mr. Holmes. Do you mean someone was trying to get Lewis wrongfully accused?
Yes, that is exactly what I do mean. It's all too obvious. It's all too pat. Guy Lewis is quite innocent.
You're right, Mr. Holmes. Thank you.
Then who has committed this annoyance? Well, it would be someone who, in the first place, would like £100 in ready cash. A gambling debt, perhaps. 2, someone who wants very much to be included in the Oxford sports team. Desperate for his blue. 3, someone who is jealous of you, Lord Farewell. Perhaps a lady friend.
Well, that can only be... It can't be.
4, someone who is a fine athlete and a very fine pole vaulter.
What? A pole vaulter? None of us is a pole vaulter.
Except Eric Davidson, Lord Farewell's best friend. A man whom I suspect is rather in debt. A man who is in love with your current lady friend, Lord Farewell. A man who is desperate to get into the Oxford team and has probably got a lot of money on certain events, particularly the pole vault. The distance from the ground to the lead roof outside your rooms is over 10 feet, Lord Farewell. Eric Davidson is the only one who can clear that distance. At least, according to your sporting records, which I took care to examine.
This isn't true. You can't prove a thing against me.
No, I think we can. I took an impression from the turf outside Falcon Lodge. I'm willing to bet that your vaulting pole has a triangular base such as is used up in the Fend district. The spikes will fit the turf specimen exactly. You've been a little too clever all along, haven't you, Davidson? Well, gentlemen, I've concluded my investigation. If you examine all the facts I've placed before you, you'll find my conclusions are perfectly correct. What steps you take against this man who has so outmaneuvered you is not my business. I just regret that jealousy and deception can exist to this degree in an institution such as this. Oh, that is all. Would you excuse us, Dean? I think there is a diner on the 9 o'clock train back to London, Watson. Shall we go?
It was some weeks after this that Holmes paused while refilling his pipe and turned the newspaper over to the back pages. There were the sports results in full.
Ah. I see that the results are here of the athletics meeting between Oxford and Cambridge. Most interesting.
What about young Christopher Farewell? Does it mention him?
Oh, yes, quite prominently. St. Mark's acquitted itself well. Good to see that the American Guy Lewis was very much to the fore. He won the sprint events quite easily.
And the pole vault?
Cambridge won. No mention of Eric Davidson. I imagine he's no longer at St. Mark's. Well, let's hope we never hear about that young man again. He's far too ingenious a mind. The sort of mind that makes a good criminal.
Or perhaps a good private investigator?
Well, one can only hope, Watson. One can only hope.
Listen again next Sunday to The Stories of Sherlock Holmes, with Graham Armitage as Holmes and Kerry Jordan as Dr. Watson.
Hey, anyone in here? Anyone mucking around in these stables? Come on out, I can see you there in the shadows. Come on, show yourself.
What are you going to do about it?
What are you doing here? These are private stables belonging to Mr. Paul Chester.
Too bad. I just lost my way, that's all. Sorry, bye for now.
Now, wait a minute. That ain't good enough. I'm sending for the police.
You won't cause any trouble if you're wise.
No? Well, we'll see about that.
You asked for it, mate. Right.
We present The Stories of Sherlock Holmes.
The Porter Mews Mystery.
Sherlock Holmes was accustomed to dealing with mysteries and murders, but as far as I can recall, there was only one case where a death occurred almost on his doorstep. You see, running parallel to Baker Street is Chiltern Street, and in between, at the back of number 221B, there is a small mews, Porter Mews. The stables are clearly seen from our back bedroom windows. Number 108 Chiltern Street is owned by Paul Chester, an Under-Secretary at the Admiralty. And it was in his stable, in the mews, that the body of his coachman, Ben Mead, was found that autumn morning. Naturally, someone thought of Holmes immediately. And, not stopping for breakfast, we both hurried to the scene of the crime.
Constable, good morning to you.
Oh, good of you to pop over, Mr. Holmes. Lindsay's the name. I'm standing guard here until the inspector arrives. Nothing's been touched since the alarm was raised.
Good, good. One of those rare occasions when I'm first on the scene and not the last to arrive. This is the man, Ben Mead. Yes, I've often seen him at work down here. Tell me, has Mr. Chester been informed of this?
Mr. Chester doesn't seem to be at home, sir. The place is all locked up. That's how this man was found. The housekeeper arrived. She doesn't stay in the house. She couldn't get in, and so she came down here to find Ben. Went in a flaming hysterics, she did, and called the police. She's next door if you want to talk to her.
Later will do. Let me first take a look at the body and the whole stable. The horse and carriage aren't here. I take it that Chester has gone off with them. Now, the body.
Well, it must have been a fight, Holmes, with the way everything's been thrown about.
Oh, yes, there's been a fight, all right, but an unfair one. It seems to me that this poor fellow was knocked down, and then, before he had a chance to pick himself up, he was hit across the base of the skull with a heavy instrument. This man gave a good account of himself, according to his facial injuries. Blood everywhere, and look at his knuckles, and... Yes, what's this? Yes, a coachman's wheel hammer. Blood and hair on it, yes. This is the murder weapon, all right. Now, I need as much light as possible. Now, where's my glass? Yes, very interesting. Very interesting. Well, it's clear from the footprints in the earth by the door that Ben came in here and disturbed someone. I should say quite early last night. There was a fight. He inflicted some injury upon his opponent before he was knocked down. He was leaning, I should think, about here when the fatal blow was delivered. Yes, I think I'd like to go over everything alone, if that's all right with you. And then, when the inspector arrives, you can send him up to my rooms, Constable. I think I can put him on the right track straight away.
Oh, that's a relief to know, Mr. Holmes. Lucky to have you on the spot, so to speak. I'll tell the inspector straight away.
And so, about an hour later, as Holmes and I were finishing breakfast, Mrs. Hudson showed in our old friend, Inspector Lestrade.
Lestrade. I wonder that Scotland Yard has been called in on such a minor case of murder.
Morning, Holmes. Morning, Watson. Well, as a matter of fact, the powers that be heard you'd been at work, and they thought it might be more important than it first seems. Murder on the premises of anyone who's employed at the Admiralty has serious undercurrents.
Yes, but this murder occurred in the mews, in the coaching stables at the back of Mr. Chester's house. Nothing to do with Chester.
That's right. But what is not known is that the house was burgled last night. When the housekeeper was let in, and when they opened up the place, they found that all of the famous silver plate had been taken. Now, these two events cannot be unrelated, Holmes. The man who killed Ben Mead must have used the mews as an entrance to the house. There is, of course, a connecting gate and a pathway to the back door.
Yes, but let's get the sequence in the right order. Ben Mead investigated the coach house, was killed by an intruder, who then took Mead's key and went into the house and stole the silver plate? Oh, no, I think not.
Well, I don't know what order it happened in, but the two events must be connected. The coincidence is too great, don't you agree?
Oh, yes, I do.
Well, Holmes, where do we start? Any ideas?
Oh, yes, plenty. It's a question of marshalling my thoughts. Now, let's take the death of the coachman as a start. You're looking for the murderer. He is approximately 5'8". He has red hair, and he has a tooth missing from the front of his mouth.
Holmes, you aren't serious.
Never more so.
But how did you arrive at these conclusions?
My dear Lestrade, you're as infuriating as Watson. You should know my methods by now. They are totally scientific. Nothing that I say is guesswork. I examined the coach stable in great detail. I found evidence. The fact that the dead man had put up a fight was very clear. He was bruised about the face. Now, bruises are very strange things. They come about in various ways. After death, for instance, they do not grow into blueness. The blood is not circulating, you understand? That's how we can tell the time when death occurred. Now, the knuckles of Ben Mead's hands showed definite, clear cuts. He'd landed several blows. Adhered to the blood on his hand were various hairs. I have them here in this envelope. They are, as you can see, rather vivid red hairs.
Yes, I see. All right, Holmes, carry on.
There's a broken tooth in that envelope also. I picked it up from the straw. It must have been from the man Ben was fighting, as Ben's teeth are quite intact. Also on the beam of the stable there were similar red hairs. They are also in the envelope. They show that if the man was hit and staggered back, his head would have hit the post at roughly 5.5 feet from the ground. That's reasonable to assume, therefore, that he is a small man. He must have had red hair and a beard. It's all quite elementary, really.
Well, it's something to go on, isn't it?
Oh, I think so. Now, London must have hundreds of men with red hair, but not all that many who also had broken front teeth. It narrows down your search somewhat, you must agree. Now, I've suggested in view of the fact that there was also a robbery, that the man was hired to do this job, therefore he is a professional and an experienced crook. May I make one final suggestion?
By all means.
Try Limehouse. There's a gin hall near the river. It's called the Waterman's. It's a place where all kinds of seamen gather. At the back of the hall there is an old coach house which is used as a boxing hall and gymnasium. I've long suspected that it's merely a front cover for various smuggling activities. If you can get a couple of plainclothes men to dress as seamen and ask a few questions, you could pick up a lead on the man you're after.
Well, that's a great help. Thanks, Holmes. I'll do exactly that.
Good. Well, the best of luck, Lestrade, and keep me informed, won't you?
Lestrade left, feeling rather pleased with himself, and I knew that if he succeeded in making an early arrest, Holmes would take none of the credit. In fact, Holmes appeared to lose all interest in the case, until later that day, when Mrs. Hudson showed in yet another visitor. This time, it was a man of considerable importance, Sir William Benningfield, of the Admiralty.
Good day to you, Holmes. I don't know if you remember me. We met a couple of times at the Diogenes Club. Your brother Mycroft introduced us.
Of course I remember, Sir William. Pray do take a seat and tell me why I'm so honoured by this visit.
Thank you. Well, the fact is that we seem to have hit a spot of trouble. This is, of course, in the strictest confidence.
Naturally.
It's my assistant, young Paul Chester, the fellow who lives just at the back of here.
The gentleman whose coachman was killed in a fight last night?
Yes, that's right. I don't know if that has anything to do with my problem. I can't see how it can have. But anyway, the fact is that Chester has disappeared. He can't be traced at all. But he should have been in the office at the Admiralty yesterday, and today there's not a sign of him. We're very worried.
You think he also might have been attacked?
Huh? Oh, no, I don't think so. The fact is that for some time now we've been aware that certain information has been passed on to foreign powers. Very vital information regarding the latest naval armory. As you know, we in Britain pride ourselves on our secret service as best in the world. Information coming back to us leads us to believe that someone in the Admiralty has turned traitor.
And you suspect it's Paul Chester?
Oh, grave accusation, Holmes. I hardly like to put it in so many words, but the possibility does exist. Recently, I've been watching Chester. Only he and I have the keys to the safe, where the codes are kept. Very few of us handle the top secret stuff. The codes are continually being changed. Now, I know Chester has been at work on certain papers. I am reasonably sure that he has been passing copies on to a contact in Austria. Your brother, Mycroft, is over there at the moment and has confirmed that the information is being leaked out there.
And you think that Chester may have got wind of this, that he might be aware that you suspect him?
That's right. I fear that he may be skipping out of the country with the latest plans. It's important that we find him and stop him.
You say that he's been missing for 2 days. And he could easily be aboard a ship or even across the channel.
Could be. But we must check. The point is, Holmes, will you help us? I'm sure Mycroft would wish you to.
Yes, of course. I shall do everything I can, Sir William. This case is becoming extremely interesting. Yes, I shall do everything I can.
Sir William Benningfield left, and I went about my own business. I had a large number of calls to make and didn't return to Baker Street until early evening. But Holmes was not at home. Mrs. Hudson had set the table for supper, and there was game pie and vegetables hot on the stove. I was helping myself to this when the door opened and a shabby old tramp let himself in. Look here, my man. Well, what do you mean by calling in here? How did you get in? Who are you, anyway?
You must be the doctor. Dr. Watson, ain't that right?
That is correct, but answer my questions. Who are you and what do you want? How did you gain entrance to these rooms?
You really are my best audience, Watson. I always feel my disguise is a foolproof if you're taken in by them.
Holmes, well, I must say that this is one of your better attempts. I was completely taken in. Well, what have you been up to this time?
Well, I thought I'd do a little checking up around the Limehouse district myself. Lestrade's men stand out like sore thumbs down there. I spotted them in the Waterman's gin hall immediately. Fortunately, they made my own investigation pass unnoticed. Yes, I found Ben Mead's murderer, all right.
You have?
Oh, yes. A very undesirable creature by the name of Joe Crumb. He's exactly 5'8", has red hair and a beard and a front tooth missing. I've advised Scotland Yard, and Lestrade should be about to make an arrest, I should think.
That's fast work, I must admit. Holmes, is there a connection between that man's death and the disappearance of Paul Chester?
I believe there must be. It's far too coincidental. Missing papers from the Admiralty, an Under-Secretary who disappears, silver plates stolen from his house, and his coachman is murdered all at the same time. No. There must be some link. But what is the link, Watson? That's the point. It's a far more complicated case than it appears. Now that, unless I'm very much mistaken, will be our old friend Lestrade. Would you be so good as to let him in, Watson, while I change out of these things? Give him a glass of brandy and invite him to take supper with us. I shall not be long.
I did as Holmes instructed, for it was indeed Inspector Lestrade waiting outside on the doorstep. He accepted my offer of food and drink gratefully, and over supper told us of his success.
We arrested the man, Joe Crumb, Holmes. He's now in jail, and we're pushing forward his trial. But, frankly, I'm wondering if the evidence will hold. It's rather too circumstantial.
Men have been hanged on far less evidence. He is the murderer, I've no doubt about that. Providing you have a good prosecuting counsel, I think you should get a conviction.
No, I'm not so sure. The man's attitude is so darn confident. He doesn't say much, just does a sly, lopsided grin. Refuses to comment at all. Simply says he's innocent, and that's that.
He is not innocent. He is guilty. I've been down to Limehouse myself and picked up quite a few tidbits of information. Nothing that I can pass on to you to be used as evidence, but from what I learned, it confirmed all my suspicions. Joe Crumb killed Ben Mead, and all that remains is for you to prove it, Lestrade. Now, would you like a little more game pie?
Holmes promptly dropped the whole case. Several times I asked him if he was making any progress with his investigations into the disappearance of Paul Chester, but he merely said that the time wasn't right. Sir William Benningfield called a couple of times and was given more or less the same answer. I could see that he was disappointed in Holmes, but Holmes didn't let that worry him. He was concentrating upon other matters. Days went by and even weeks, and eventually Joe Crumb appeared in court on a charge of murder. Naturally, Holmes and I attended the trial. The defense was conducted by Hugh Starcross, the most able man.
Members of the jury, you must be amazed at the weakness of the case you have been brought here to judge. In all my long experience, I have never known a criminal charge supported by such flimsy, scanty evidence. As it unfolds, you will see that no rational mind can find the prisoner guilty. My client is not content, however, to be acquitted for lack of evidence. He claims the right to prove his innocence. He will show that he could have had no part whatsoever in the death of the coachman, Ben Mead.
That means he's about to produce an alibi. The usual questions first, though.
A prisoner at the bar. You have heard that at the scene of the crime there was evidence of a fight and the finding of red hairs and a broken tooth. You have red hair.
That's right. Natural, too. Always have had this colour here.
You also have a front tooth missing. Can you tell the jury how you lost that tooth?
Waterman's gym, Limehouse, boxing. Lost it about 3 months ago. A fella called Max Baker caught me one in the face and knocked me tooth out. Oh, that's Baker down there, he'll tell you.
Yes, just confine yourself to answering the questions. I shall bring the necessary witnesses to testify as I think fit. And now, on the night of the 21st, when this death took place, can you account for your movements?
Of course I can. I was in the Waterman's till about 10 o'clock. Then I went across to the pub. 3 ducks. Stayed there till closing time, playing darts. Then went with the landlord to play poker. Had an all-night session. I won quite a bit, too.
And now we shall hear the confirmation from the landlord. Yes, he'll now be called. That's him, that large, fat-faced man with the black hair smarmed down. He will testify for Crumb.
Holmes, you seem quite pleased that things are going so badly. If this continues, then Crumb will be acquitted.
Oh, yes, I should think that's almost certain. Well, I think there's very little need to stay and hear more, Watson. The jury won't take all that long to make up their minds. We may as well go and get ourselves a cup of coffee, I think, don't you?
Gentlemen of the jury, have you arrived at a verdict? Do you find the prisoner guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty, my lord.
Naturally, I was greatly upset, and so was Lestrade. Scotland Yard had been made to appear rather stupid. He was far from pleased and very much inclined to blame Sherlock Holmes, who was quite unimpressed by the whole of the proceedings. In fact, later that evening, he seemed rather pleased with himself.
Tonight, I think we can actually move on the case, Watson.
I thought it was all over. Crumb has been acquitted. Well, you may have been right in thinking him guilty, but he's got away with it.
Not entirely. He has been made to reveal his hand, and I think now we can step in and solve the whole mystery. I've asked Lestrade and his men to meet me later. First, I have to send off a few telegrams, one to Mycroft in Innsbruck, another to the landlord of the Three Ducks, and a third to Sir William Benningfield. Then we journey to Limehouse, suitably clad, of course. I'm sure I can find an old suit that'll fit you, Watson, and a large cape with a pocket that can conceal a revolver.
If you want me to come with you, or you think it might be dangerous.
That's right. I've been inactive for long enough. This time, things were brought to a head, don't you agree? Come, make preparations. It could be a long night ahead.
And so, on a rainy, windy night, Holmes and I took a cab to the east end of London and made our way by foot to the Three Ducks public house. We didn't go in. It was nearly closing time. We waited down a side alley, and after about half an hour, two men left by the back entrance. I could tell by the light of the gas lamps that they were Joe Crumb and the landlord. Swiftly and silently, we followed. They made their way down towards the river, and at St. Catherine's Wharf they stopped and entered a small disused warehouse. Holmes seemed to know the way, and catching me by the sleeve, guided me through the darkness. The two men lit a lantern.
There's he. They're kneeling on the floor, about to open a trap door in the floor.
Holmes, what's all this mean?
Shh, you'll find out very soon. Wait.
Gotta check out, though. Can't be too careful. Here, give us a hand. Ready?
See, still there. Told you. No chance of anyone discovering him under the floorboards. All we've got to do is put him in the chest. Come on, easy. Right.
Right, that's got him. Close him in.
Now, tomorrow, going to pull the Santiago Star. Once right out at sea, the captain drops it overboard and that is down. We settle back in head and start collecting. Rich men we're going to be. Nice and rich for the rest of our days. Worth taking a few risks for, I reckon, don't you?
One risk too many, Crumb.
What a devil!
Don't move. There are two guns on you, and both my friend and I are crack shots. Cover them, Watson. Let's get Lestrade in here. He and his men have been following me. That's it. The game is up, Crumb. You may have got away with murder once, but this time you won't be so lucky. This time you will face a charge of killing Mr. Paul Chester, whose body you have just placed in that sea chest.
You lousy, clever swine, how did you...
You'll have plenty of time to listen to explanations later. Lestrade. Good, right on time. Take these men away. Then I think you can make yet another arrest. A bigger fish this time. These are just two sprats to catch a mackerel. Come on, Watson. Our work here is over.
After the arrest of the two men in that warehouse, events moved at a bewildering pace. The body of Paul Chester was found, wrapped in canvas. It was clear that he'd been murdered, his throat cut from ear to ear. Under cross-examination, the landlord of the Three Ducks broke down and confessed everything. He turned Queen's evidence, and so implicated none other than Sir William Benningfield. Holmes was not at all surprised.
You see, it was Benningfield's whole idea. It was he who had turned traitor and was passing on the naval secrets. Paul Chester found this out and was ready to expose him. So Benningfield had to get rid of him. The plan was to burgle the house in Chiltern Street, steal silver plate, and then send a message to Chester where to find it. Chester was lured to Limehouse, where he was killed, and his body placed beneath the floorboards of the warehouse until it could be shipped aboard a boat and dropped out at sea. Unfortunately, Joe Crumb was discovered by Chester's coachman, who was killed in a fight. I knew that it was the beginning of the case and not the end. Once Crumb was acquitted, he got overconfident. The landlord, being the spineless type, reacted to a telegram I sent him, saying Chester's body had been found. They led us to him. My brother Mycroft is due back in England straight away. He'll deal with Benningfield. I think our job is over, Watson. So much for the Porter Mews mystery. Interesting case, but a little too close to home for comfort. Don't you agree?
Listen again next Sunday to The Stories of Sherlock Holmes, with Graham Armitage as Holmes and Kerry Jordan as Dr. Watson.
Very nice casting, Holmes. I must say I'm enjoying this trip tremendously.
It'd be rather more satisfying if we caught some fish, Watson.
What are you always telling me? Patience is a virtue? Well, they've only been here a couple of days. And after all, what have we come to Norfolk for? Complete rest. Enjoy the Broads, fishing, walking, generally taking a lazy holiday. I'm quite content.
It's all very well for a couple of days, but then I find I need something to concentrate upon.
Well, I think you should concentrate upon your line, Holmes. I think you might have a bite.
Hey, you there. You want to play fair?
And if I have, then that man has ruined it.
Sherlock Holmes, surely it must be.
Who on earth? I'm not known in these parts. By heavens, it's Tubby Spencer. Do you remember him, Watson? Superintendent at the Yard many years ago. Well, what on earth's he doing up here?
We present The Stories of Sherlock Holmes.
The Nene River Mystery. The summer of 1889 came very late, but it suited me quite well, for I'd been busy the whole of August, and it wasn't until September that I had time on my hands. When I did, the summer really started. Sun came out, the temperatures rose, and it seemed an ideal time to take a short break. Most holiday makers had gone home. The resorts were deserted. I persuaded Holmes to join me for a few days on the Norfolk Broads. We'd found a small inn which was reasonably comfortable, and for 2 days we'd enjoyed the walking and the scenery. And then one morning we'd been disturbed by the well-remembered figure of Superintendent Spencer, or rather, ex-superintendent, for he'd retired from Scotland Yard many years ago.
Holmes, Watson, well, this is a wonderful meeting. I inquired at the inn, and they told me I'd find you on the river.
Tubby Spencer, this is a surprise. Good to see you. Hey, Watson?
Yes, it certainly is. You're looking well, Superintendent.
Oh, no titles, please. I gave that up years ago. Just plain Spencer. Or Tubby, if you like.
What are you doing in these parts?
Well, the wife and I bought a pub when I retired. The Anglers' Rest at South Wootton, near the mouth of this river. Nice spot. We're well content there.
How did you find us?
Oh, your fame spreads far and wide, Holmes. Once I'd heard the name Holmes, and the description of a tall, angular fellow who walked the fens in a deerstalker hat, accompanied by a burly fellow who was a doctor, I knew who it was.
Well, it's splendid to see you again after all this time.
Good to see you. Tell me, are you satisfied with your stay at the local inn? It's the Wheat Sheep, isn't it?
Yes, that's correct. I think we can say that they're making us comfortable there. Don't you agree, Holmes?
Oh, yes, I've no complaints. But perhaps you have a reason for asking that question, Tuppy. Although South Wootton is but a short way off, you've travelled here at some haste to find us, have you not?
Now, how did you know that?
You were always a very careful dresser. Your outfit is still smart. You've not become slovenly in any way. Yet your boots are badly tied, your socks don't match, and your tie is inside out. You dressed hurriedly. You've even taken to horse to reach us, hence the riding crop in your hand. Why the haste, Terry? Something wrong?
I can see that you are just as observant as ever, Holmes. Yes, I heard that you were here for but a few days, and I was anxious to see you before you departed.
Oh, we've a couple of days more left of the holiday. You needn't have hurried.
Oh, that's good. Then perhaps I might make a suggestion. If you care to see a little more of the district, why not leave the Wheat Sheep and come across to my place? Well, there is free accommodation for you at Fisherman's Rest. My wife will be glad to meet you. She's a rare cook, I can tell you.
And you'll have plenty of time to explain to us just what it is that's worrying you. What is it, Tuppy? You say that you're no longer a member of the force, but you're still interested in crime, aren't you? And it is a crime that you wish to discuss, isn't it, Tuppy?
Tubby Spencer simply grinned and inclined his head. And that was enough for Holmes. He had exhausted all his interest in fishing. The mention of the word crime was a bait far more attractive to his mentality. Within minutes, we'd gathered together our fishing gear and were on our way back to the inn. By lunchtime, we'd been taken by donkey cart across the fenlands to South Wootton. The Fisherman's Rest was in every way superior to the inn we'd just left. Mrs. Spencer made us very welcome. After a fine meal, we retired to Tubby's parlour, where we lit our pipes and sat near the open windows that looked out towards the river's mouth.
Well, come on, Tubby. This is the ideal time to explain what it's all about.
Well, now, Holmes, you've got to understand that South Wootton is a very small place. Not much goes on here, and the population is sparse. So, as most villages, gossip is part of the day-to-day diet of most folk. But recently, something has happened that's caused a real stir. Two people, the man and his wife, have simply disappeared.
Disappeared?
Well, Margaret and Bill Easton. Well, they live in a large cottage right up near Goose Fen. They've been married some 8 years. She was born and raised here. He's a Londoner she met and brought up to Norfolk after their marriage. He got a job as a salesman in King's Lynn. He's been doing very well. There was talk of him opening his own business, and then something must have happened. The plan was abandoned. Bill used to go away on trips connected with his work. Left 3 days ago, they both did. No one's seen them since.
But 3 days is no time at all. They could turn up at any moment. What makes you think that anything is wrong? Surely it's far too early to become anxious in any way.
Oh, I hope so. That's why it's not been reported officially. But the Eastons have always been a bit of a mystery couple. Keep themselves to themselves. And this mystery has been borne out by Luke Merivale.
Who's he?
He's their lodger. A rum sort of cove. He arrived in these parts about a year ago. Works at the local garage as a mechanic. Oh, there's nothing known against him, but he's not liked. Bit of a snooper. And hasn't made friends except with a few poachers and the like. A rumour has it he's a bad lot, but as I say, there's nothing known against him. Anyway, he's very upset about this disappearance. He says there's been foul play of some kind.
On what facts does he base these suspicions?
Look, why don't you let him tell you himself? He's always calling in a bar in late afternoon for a pint. You get talking to him. He'll tell you everything. I'm sure he will. He's a tall, skinny bloke. A bit servile, but he will talk.
I'm very pleased and honoured to meet you, Mr. Holmes. It's a great day for South Wootton. A great day, famous detective.
Thank you, but Dr. Watson and I are simply on holiday. This is in no sense a business visit.
You must always be able to give a little advice upon criminal matters. You can't help being interested, I'm sure. For instance, now, my landlady and her husband trapped a few birds. Strange goings on in our place at Goose Fen. Mr. and Mrs. Easton. I'm sure they're in great trouble. Well, that's if they're still alive.
Oh. Tell me more, Luke. Come, let me fill your glass and then tell me what the mystery is all about. Tubby, can we have the same again, please?
Coming up.
Oh, thank you kindly. Well, now, it's this one. I've been boarding at the Eastons for nearly a year now, and I was quick to realise quite a few things. One was that Bill Easton had had trouble in the past. He done time, like, been in jail. Oh, yes, I can recognise an old lag, all right. And it seems that she, that's his wife, had met him just after he came out. Something to do with charity meeting. They fell in love, and she brought him here to South Rutland, and he went straight. Nothing wrong in that, of course, but... Well, he paid the price for his crime, embezzlement or something it was. Anyway, some months ago, I happened to come down to my bedroom, and they was in the parlour. I was going out and went up the passage to get me cab that was hanging on the wall stack. I couldn't help hearing what they were saying. I didn't listen on purpose, mind. I couldn't help it.
Bill, what are we going to do? We can't go on like this. We've been paying out money regularly for months.
I know. Morgan, I shouldn't have started it. Should have had the guts to define from the very beginning. But I thought he would honour his word. He swore that if I gave him a few $100, then he would go abroad, leave us alone, instead of which he's still here.
Well, we could go to the police. Blackmail is a foul crime.
But then it would all come out anyway. There wasn't anything he could do if he talks. I'll just have to find some cash somewhere. When I give it to him, I'm going to tell him it's the last he's going to get. He can do his damnedest.
Oh, Bill, will it do any good if I saw this man?
No. Now, Adam West is a foul and violent man. I don't want my wife to be involved with him.
But I am involved, I am. All my savings have gone to that swine. It's not fair. It's not fair.
Don't cry, darling. Don't cry.
So you see, I knew that Bill and Margaret East were being blackmailed by this man called Adam West. Who he is or where he lives, I can't say. Anyway, it accounted for the strange sort of atmosphere that's been in the house. And then, only a couple of nights ago, I was going upstairs when I overheard them talking once again. This time it scared me a bit. I knew he kept a revolver in his bedroom, but I'd never seen him use it.
I'm going to put a stop to this, Marge. Even if I have to use this.
Bill, no. No, you can't. You can't think of such a thing.
The man is a coward. I know in his heart he is a coward. No one would have done what he has unless he's a rotten coward. This will scare me into silence. I know it will. I'm meeting Adam West late this evening. And I'm going to put a stop to this once and for all.
Bill, don't, please. Let me try. Let me meet him, please. Please.
So, you see, Mr. Holmes, it's clear to me that Bill and his wife both went off to tackle this blackmailer, Adam West. They had a gun and they was going to meet him. Well, they haven't come back, so I reckon there's something tragic happened, like. Now, what do you think, eh?
Well, it certainly bears investigation, Luke. Did they not say where this meeting place was?
No, I didn't hear no places mentioned. But I reckon...
Hey, look, everyone, look at this. It's Billy Suzette, found down by the river mouth, and it's got a bullet hole through it.
It's difficult to describe the sensation that broke out on the bar of the Fisherman's Rest. The man who had entered holding a large countryman's hat was Silas, well known in those parts as a casual worker during the day and a poacher at night. But for once, his poaching activities were not under question. He approached the bar and threw the hat onto the counter. Tubby Spencer picked it up immediately.
Yes, this is Bill Easton's, all right. Got his initials inside. Recognize it anywhere.
May I see that, please? Yes, there is a bullet hole, all right.
Holmes, you think this
Someone must go for the police. This must be headed over to the police at once.
Police? What, Sergeant Peppercorn? What good is it?
It has to be officially reported. Now, come on, Silas. You must take us down to the police station and make a statement. Come on now, the rest of you clear the way. Come on, Silas.
Silas was led out, and after a few minutes, Holmes motioned to me that we should also leave. It was typical of Holmes that he didn't wait for the police to arrive. Mention had been made of the river, and that was enough for him. We were down on its banks within 20 minutes. It was still broad daylight. Holmes noted the footprints on the sandy path, and eventually he stopped by some tall reeds bordering the marshlands.
Yes, I think this must be it, Watson. You see, the reeds are bent all over the place, towards us, mostly. Which means Silas the poacher must have come from the river this way. Come. Yes. The trail leads towards the water.
It's getting awfully damp underfoot, Holmes. Isn't this where the Wootton Marsh becomes dangerous? There's a quicksand at the mouth of the Nene River, I'm told.
Yes, I shouldn't be at all surprised. The foliage gives way as it slopes towards the water. Yes, now careful now, Watson. This is very important. We found the spot before others had got here and trampled all the evidence into the earth. Yes, footprints. This way, tread on the grass to one side.
Holmes? Holmes, what's that? White, fluttering on those reeds.
Yes, a length of cloth. Let me reach for it. Yes, a flimsy piece of material. As it could be from a woman's dress and... look, Watson. Blood. Oh, yes, this is where it happened. I should think the hat was found about here also. Yes, take this, Watson. It's vital evidence that a crime has been committed. Take it while I study these footprints. Yes. Here's where the struggle took place. Very clearly defined in the muddy sand. This is most interesting. It tells me a great deal. We are indeed fortunate, Watson.
Watson? There you are. Got here before us, have you? Holmes, this is Sergeant Peppercorn from the Wootton Police. I've explained who you are and how we want to find ourselves out here.
Good afternoon, Sergeant.
Oh, good afternoon, Mr. Holmes. Dr. Watson. What a real fine state of affairs this be, eh? I reckon there'll be trouble here, eh?
Undoubtedly, Sergeant. A murder has been committed. Perhaps two murders. This shows the scene of the struggle. And Watson found a strip of women's clothing. It's covered with bloodstains. There seems no doubt that Mrs. Easton was attacked here.
Oh, and this is the spot where Silas said he found the hat. So, well, it looks like both Bill and Marge Easton have been murdered, eh? Well, there ain't no sign of bodies about, is there?
There are tracks. There are tracks leading this way, not towards the river, but through the reeds and marshland. Look, very clear, wide, and it's all flattened down.
Oh, best follow it.
I doubt if that'll be of any use. That trail leads straight into the Wootton Marsh, and from then on, it's the Nene quicksand. If the man responsible for all this is a local fellow, then he may know of a safe path through the quicksand. But then all he has to do is dump the bodies in the right places, and they'll never be found. Nothing has ever been recovered from the Nene quicksand.
It's a perfect way to dispose of a body. Yes, I think I'll leave all the rest to you, Sergeant. I found out all I need from the scene of the crime. We were getting back to the fisherman's rest. Oh, the hat. Is it still there, Sergeant?
Oh, I thought you might like to examine it, Mr. Holmes, so I left it with Tubby's wife.
Oh, good man. You don't mind if we take this strip of clothing, do you? I'll see you later on, Sergeant. Come, Watson. There's work to be done.
We got back to the inn in record time, and Holmes took the hat from Mrs. Spence. We sat again in Tubby's parlour, and Holmes was silent for about half an hour while he subjected both hat and torn clothing to minute scrutiny through his magnifying glass. I could tell that he was puzzled. By the time Tubby Spencer returned, he was sitting quietly puffing at his pipe, lost in thought.
Well, at least I didn't bring you over in a wild goose chase, Holmes.
No. The goose at Goose End is not wild, Tubby, but extremely clever.
The man called Adam West, you mean? Yes, I agree. Of course, Sergeant Peppercorn has got in touch with headquarters at King's Lynn. They will have notified Norwich, and the country police will be over here before we know where we are.
Oh, I don't think I wish to get involved with them, Tubby. We've got quite a way ourselves. We were almost in at the kill, as it were. Are you agreeable to carry on with this as a private investigation?
Oh, I'm a private person now, not a Scotland Yard man. Yes, of course. Then it'll be a pleasure to work with you again.
Ah, good. Now, what are your thoughts about this up to the moment?
Well, on the face of it, it appears that Bill Easton went out to keep the rendezvous with Adam West, who had been blackmailing him. We know he was armed. I should judge that his wife followed him. There was a confrontation down by the river. Perhaps Easton pulled a gun and tried to fire at West. His wife intervened. There was a struggle. West shot Easton. Then after another struggle, in which Margaret's clothing was badly torn, he overpowered her. He threw her into the quicksand and disposed of Easton's body in the same way.
Yes, that is a workable theory.
But you don't agree with it?
Oh, no, not at all.
Then might I ask what your thoughts are up to this moment?
I'd sooner keep them to myself for a while. They're rather disorganized, and I hate rambling thinking. What about you, Watson?
I have to agree with Tubby. There's only one thing that I'm not sure about.
What's that?
The lodger, Luke Merivale. He's a shifty sort of man. I wonder if his evidence is to be trusted. We've only his word for it that these conversations he overheard actually took place. For all we know, there might not even be a blackmailer called Adam West.
Splendid thinking, Watson. That's really very astute of you. Full marks.
Oh, thank you, Holmes. You see, if his story's correct, then why didn't he move before? Why, for instance, if he is an inquisitive type of person, and he obviously is because he eavesdrops, didn't he follow Easton and his wife and check up on their movements on the night of the crime?
Why, indeed. Of course, he might have been too scared.
Or he might be even more involved. Lodgers have been known to disrupt domestic harmony, you know. Well, it's worth thinking about, Holmes.
Wrong, Watson. Totally wrong. You are, in fact, both wrong, but it is getting late. I suggest a little light supper and an early night. Tomorrow morning we can resume our investigations. I shall first send off a telegram to your old firm of Scotland Yard, Tubby. And in the morning I suggest a trip to King's Lynn.
King's Lynn? But why, Holmes?
To Easton's place of work. I think we might be able to pick up a few missing threads from quite an opposite direction. And meanwhile, your wife tells me there is cold game pie and cider for supper. Shall we join her in the kitchen, Tubby?
I knew from Holmes' attitude that we should get no more out of him that night. And next morning, after an excellent breakfast, the three of us, for Tubby refused to be left out, journeyed by pony trap to King's Lynn, where we easily traced the firm of Churchman and Sons where Bill Easton used to work as a salesman. The chief clerk showed us into the small office that Easton used.
Yes, this is where poor Bill used to work. We haven't touched anything, of course, because we're still hoping that all these rumors are ill-founded and that he will return. That's his desk.
Thank you. I'm afraid the chances of you seeing Bill Easton again are very remote. But I'm glad you've left everything undisturbed.
Thank you. I shall be in my office if you wish to discuss anything further. Excuse me now, please.
Rest if I can see what's so important about searching his place of work, Holmes. I should have thought a search of the house would have been more profitable.
Not if there was something he wished to conceal from his wife. There's this, for instance. A wallet. And in the wallet's letters. Here's one letter in particular. Listen to this. My dearest Adam, just a short note to say that I shall be waiting at the same place for you. I love you and will wait for you for always. I know that we shall come together in the end and live comfortably for the rest of our lives. Yours, Pearl.
Letter to the blackmailer? Yet Bill Easton came by it. Holmes, do you think this is significant? Could Easton have been planning to turn the table, blackmail the blackmailer?
Lady Pearl has unfortunately, by sheer force of habit, perhaps, written her address at the top of the paper. 12 Sheepcot Lane. Well, our next port of call is clearly indicated. Come, gentlemen, let us visit this Pearl lady. I think we're nearing the end of our chase.
Sheepcot Lane was on the other side of the town, but we found it quite easily. Holmes walked rapidly up the steps, and a buxom young lady answered the door.
You are Pearl? We are the police. Kindly let us in. We wish to ask you a few questions.
What's your name? You can't come in here.
We are in. Now, where is the man who calls himself Adam West?
Adam? He ain't here. He's gone to...
What is it, Pearl? I thought I heard someone...
Bill Easton.
That is correct. Bill Easton, who served his first term of imprisonment as Adam West, and who will now hang for the murder of his wife, Margaret Easton. You'd better take charge from now on, Superintendent Spencer.
Tubby Spencer took charge automatically. Easton broke down once he realized he'd been caught. Holmes drove the pony cart back to the Fisherman's Rest and explained.
You see, Watson, there were two things that simply didn't fit in with Tubby's theory that a blackmailer had murdered both Easton and his wife. The first was the scene of the crime. That struggle clearly indicated only two sets of footprints, a man's and a woman's. There was no third party. Hence, the struggle was between Easton and his wife. The second was the hat. Easton fired a bullet through his own hat to make everyone think that the bullet had lodged in his brain and the body thrown into the quicksand along with his wife's. But he made a big mistake. He fired the gun from inside the hat so that there wouldn't be a hole on the other side. There was clear evidence of the powder burns inside. Hence, no murder. Yes, he'd invented the character of Adam West as a blackmailer, threatening to reveal his criminal past in order to drain away his wife's savings. He salted them away with his own money in order to run off with Pearl, his latest mistress. Scotland Yard confirms that he was both Adam West and Bill Easton. Well, I've had a very enjoyable fishing trip. It ended with quite a satisfying catch after all, didn't it, Watson?
listen again next Sunday to The Stories of Sherlock Holmes, with Graham Armitage as Holmes and Kerry Jordan as Dr. Watson.